Cochran intercepted 2 passes.
Two teams conferring now with the officials. The toss of the coin, the handshake. One team, of course, will make its choice to start the game, and the team that does not get that right will be able to choose receiving and the end of the field for the important second half. That's a big consideration here in Canada, Jack. As Cal Murphy is there with his Bombers ready to go, the conditions can change at any time.
I'll tell you what, it's going to be a very interesting football game. I think that Hamilton is going to receive on the opening. They've already had that ceremonial toss and everything like that. And it'll be interesting to see if they do receive the ball and challenge that outstanding Bomber defense.
Outstanding it is, giving up the fewest points in Canada this year, and yet having to chase the Winnipeg or the BC Lions down to the wire, settling for second, but as we say, beating them in the Sudden Death Western Final 7 days ago. The teams will line up now across this frozen turf at Commonwealth Stadium. 60,000 people will rise for the playing of Canada's national anthem. I haven't seen a crowd dressed this way since the opening ceremonies of the Winter Olympics in Sarajevo, Yugoslavia last February. But it's a cold one. These people here are accustomed to it, and they can dress for it. Here's the anthem. And the balloons head skyward where the local weather office tells us at 1,500 feet, it is 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're not quite high enough to get the warm air here this afternoon. Instead, it's just barely 20 degrees. But you consider what San Diego and Cincinnati went through a couple of years ago, Jack. Minus, what, 45 wind chill factor in the NFL? This isn't all that bad. Over the years, they've had a mixture of snow and fog, but mostly cold for Grey Cup games, except last year, the warmth of the Dome at BC Place in Vancouver, which sits idle today while Edmonton gets a chance, cold or not, to host the Grey Cup game of '84. Let's get out of the sidelines now. Here's Tom Eaves. All right, Tom, we're having a little trouble getting you there with your microphone. We'll work on that as the teams settle in, as the pregame celebrants leave the field. They'll be putting on a spectacular halftime show a little later on. 14 points, the average line in favor of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, the Western champions. One thing, Jack, the Bombers have against them as they get set to kick off. No second or third place team from the West has ever won the Western playoffs and won a Grey Cup game. First place teams have always done it, so a little bit of a jinx facing Winnipeg.
That's true, but they seem like they've overcome a lot of those along the way, you know. And they'll be kicking off to Rufus Crawford, more than likely been the outstanding return guy in the CFL, both as a punt returner and kickoff returner. That's number 21.
They're back near the goal line. Waiting the go-ahead from Ross Perrier, the referee, and Trevor Kenner puts it in the air short, bouncing around the 15-yard line, will hop out of bounds there. The flag flies because the Ticats will have the option of taking it there or making Winnipeg re-kick. And so I suppose that wind, which really isn't all that strong, is in the face of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in this first quarter. They will have the choice in the second half. So they'll move it back down to the 40-yard line. Of course, this field, in case you're not familiar.
Illegal kickoff, Winnipeg number 3.
The other thing that I think to remember, folks, is that when you're watching this game, and that football, that leather is cold, and it just doesn't really zing out there like it normally does, because Trevor Kennard usually puts them down to about the 5.
Like trying to catch something made of lead dropped from 10 feet. The midfield, I was going to say 110 yards long. So if you're on the 50-yard line, you get two choices here. The Winnipeg 50 or the Hamilton 50, because midfield is the 55. Of course, you know about the deeper end zones, 25 yards long, although they're contoured here in the corners to allow for the track. Kennard will try it again. Line drive shot this time. Bounding down to the shallow man, the 25-yard line. It is Dave Graffy. Graffy brings it up to give Hamilton good starting position at the 45-yard line. So a good start for the Cats. Here's Dieter Brock, the quarterback, perhaps playing in his final CFL game. Veteran from Jacksonville State. In his backfield is John Shepard, Mark Draganolo, and his receivers are Ron Johnson. He's got the dangerous Rufus Crawford, Rocky DiPietro, and Dwayne Jett as you look at the offensive line centered by the veteran Henry Waschuk. 3 downs, remember. Here's the first down of the game for the 45-yard line. Brock firing it out. It is complete to Ron Johnson, but ball comes loose. It's whistle dead. Winnipeg picking it up. It's going to be called back. Frank Robinson is going to head into the end zone anyway, just to keep warm, but the advance ball ruled dead before the fumble, a gain of 2 at the 47-yard line.
You know, you always kind of wonder about some of those things. Sometimes you're just taking that wide receiver and turning him on a quick out, and you're going for a +2, and it's already 2nd and 8. But anyway, they'll change that feeling. I think it's just a matter of the nervousness that's happening. Here he is right here. Ron Johnson picks up 2. The hit is made, the contact and forward motion is stopped. Consequently, the whistle is blown.
Brock on 2nd down. Fires a strikeout there. That is going to be for a first down to Dwayne Jett, who was brought in for this game, brought back from Steve Spaper, the regular receiver on the wide side, was injured. Donovan Rowe, defensive left corner, makes the tackle for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So Hamilton in 2 plays moves the ball fairly impressively on that one, a 10-yard gain for the first down.
You throw the ball to establish the passing game, the short passing game, and then you're going to come on and run it. Some both clubs will most normally will do that. Brock will spray that ball all over the field.
Look there at the first down of the Bomber defense, the best in the league. Here's the rush on Brock. They have him in the sack. The ball pops free. Hamilton bounced. The Ticats keep possession. They were fortunate way back there. Tyrone Jones forcing it, and Rocky DiPietro got on top of the ball for Hamilton.
That was a good break, and that's nothing unusual. Tyrone Jones has been the leading sacker for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and a winning sacker in the entire league. He has got some real quicks coming from an outside linebacker position. Sometimes they move him on the inside, and he'll blitz all the time.
Loss of 13. It's going to be 2nd down and 23, but the Bombers, for the 2nd time, almost had a big turnover in the early seconds of this Grey Cup game. So the whole world knows that Brock is going to open up on this one, needing long yardage on 2nd down. Now the shotgun formation he goes. Fires right. He's got a strike. That is to Shepard, but it's not going to be enough for the first down. As John Shepard flares out of the backfield, he's short by about 18 yards.
In that particular pitch and catch combination, were both from 2 small schools in the state of Alabama. Dieter Brock from Jacksonville State, and then Johnny Shepard from Livingston State, both in Alabama. 2 outstanding players from great little schools.
Bernie Ruoff, who did it all, punting and field goal kicking for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. In fact, their main scoring weapon in a season in which the Cats had trouble scoring offensive touchdowns. They got just 1 on their last 2 playoff games last week. Ruoff takes the high snap, eludes the charge, steps outside, and just squibs it down the field. Gets a pretty good bounce out of it all the way inside the 35-yard line. Grounded there by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So Bernie Ruoff made something out of a bad situation.
Well, that's...
We'll be back as the ball goes over to the favored Winnipeg Blue Bombers here. No score, first quarter Grey Cup on a cold day in Western Canada.
Good financial news.
Now maybe I can sell you some life insurance.
I'm talking about my life insurance.
Huh?
Northwestern Mutual's variable life. I choose how my cash value is invested. Money market stocks, bonds.
What if the market drops?
The cash value falls, but my face amount is guaranteed.
Northwestern Mutual's Variable Life, an alternative, available only from agents with the Quiet Company.
They're a tough act to follow.
I know.
Monday night on ESPN, the Steelers and the Saints match up man-to-man in a preview of the game in New Orleans. The outcome is up in the air. When Danny Abramovich played the game, the Saints were just getting off the ground. He was too small and too slow, but he became an NFL superstar. Then the seasons change with a special college basketball preview. We'll cover all the big men on campus from preseason practice to playoffs. It's all here Monday on ESPN.
Got some outstanding college football coming your way next Saturday on ESPN. Arkansas and SMU. Jim Simpson and Paul McGuire will be there for that one for you, 7:30 Saturday Eastern Time, right here on ESPN.
That's always a good matchup. A couple of good Southwest Conference schools. I like watching those people play. They get the ball in the air a bit, too.
You bet. We can expect the Bombers to get the ball in the air as well. Tom Clements, the quarterback, starting with those bad ribs. And you know the Hamilton Ticats will be gunning for him in this game for all the marbles. First down, 33-yard line. Clements going along the ground to Willard Reeves, the top rusher in the CFL this year with over 1,700 yards. You'll see a lot of him today. He was stopped by the linebacker Leo Ezra.
Willard Reeves is one of those really strong running backs. A strong upper body. The guy can really take some shots, and he gained almost something like 1,700 and some yards this year, almost a mile on the ground.
He advanced it 3 that time to the 36-yard line. Second down and 7. Remember, just 3 downs in Canadian football. They got to make this one to convert. Clements gets the charge, gets a hit. There's a flag. He comes out to Kehoe. Kehoe has the first down, but Tom Clements on the seat of his pants, a little slow getting up. He took that expected shot early from a Hamilton defender, Gerald Best.
Kind of interesting that time. I just wanted to say that both inside receivers, both House and Poplowski for the Bombers, number 31 and number 71, two Canadian kids that had outstanding careers, are the only receivers out there not wearing gloves.
Winnipeg number 63.
So the flag was not for any necessary roughness. It was a holding call against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, number 63, Chris Walby. And there's Clements getting the shot just as he released the ball. Out to Kehoe, the penalty takes away the first down. Second down now, and about 17 yards to go for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Clements gets the charge again, just popped the ball up there. It's ruled incomplete. The Bombers will punt on third down.
Kind of interesting. You can see already early in this ball game, the emotion is taking a little part of things. There's been some changeovers, been some mishandling of the football, and it's going to be a surprising game, I think, for a lot of people, especially those that figure the Bombers are going to come here and just really blow the Ticats off the map.
That was Mike Walker who forced that play. Didn't give Clements a chance to set it all, so it becomes third down for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And there's no question the Ticats, coached by that man, Al Bruno, who also played for Bear Bryant back in his playing days, his first year as a coach with Hamilton. They've handled the Bombers very well in the early going. The game just 4 minutes old, though. Cameron, the punter, gets it away.
Good hit.
What do you hang time? Coming down to Kevin Neals. Neals gets across the 45-yard line to about the 46, so Hamilton once again in good shape in terms of field position near midfield. Will start off with their series of downs after a 47-yard punt. They have to give the punt return man 5 yards under CFL rules.
And there's the leading return guy in the league, Crawford, just makes a good move, just take the ball right upfield, gets good offensive field position. Here we go, Don.
Running it out to about the 48 or 49 for a gain of 2 or 3 out of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Mark Braganola, the fullback, carrying that one. Let's get out to Bill Stevenson now.
Well, let me tell you, Chevy, and Jocko especially, as the next coach, you know what they're doing down here. They've already started to change shoes. You'd think in the pregame warm-up they'd find out what shoes would work, Jocko, but they've changed them now. They're going down to broom ball shoes because they find there's ice out in the middle of the field. Well, and I think you'll see more and more of them changing, Jack.
Here's Brock rolling out, getting a rush, gets it away. It is complete out there. Dwayne Jeff, the wide receiver on the right side, is close to a first down. If I didn't know better how cold it was today, looking at Bill's nose, I'd say he's been at a couple of Grey Cup parties. It's just cold.
I'll tell you what, Brock moved out there. He likes to use a little half roll and really zing the ball out in the flat. Let's just watch him here. Gets a little flick play action. This is a little bit more mobility than he normally shows, but he really pops the ball out there really good gun on the guy.
Dwayne Jett, who's seen better days at the University of Hawaii. For the first down. Pretty good pass protection again. Could be a holding call as the flag flies in the backfield. The pass incomplete for the fullback, Mark Braganola. It will be holding, the indication against the Hamilton Ticat offensive lineman. There's no score. They passed the 5-minute mark of the first quarter here. And again, you talk about heavy favorites. nothing to indicate right now the Winnipeg Blue Bombers should be favored by 14 points.
Holding. Hamilton, number 63. First down receiving.
When we were talking, Marv Alamang, the right guard, called for holding. There's the illustration right there, circling, as that play unfolded, as he tried to give a little extra pass protection for his quarterback, Brock.
First and 20.
Back on the 46 of Hamilton. Swings it out. Ron Johnson's got a sore left arm, went up and couldn't bring that one down. He was getting some pretty good pressure, though, from that Winnipeg linebacker. Tyrone Jones right there in the area. So it is going to be third down for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. They get second down. They got to repeat the first one on the penalty, so it's second down.
They like to take that inside receiver and just kind of use him as a blocker after Johnson was to make the catch. That's the reason that they throw the ball short, because he's certainly not looking for a 3-yard gain on first and 20.
Top of the screen, jet wide right. Brock throws the home run ball going way downfield to DiPietro. He's going to strike inside the 25-yard line of the Blue Bombers. Rocky DiPietro.
I'll tell you what, it's an interesting thing just to see the skill of the quarterback. In other words, you'd think that this ball game is being played under ideal conditions because of pitch and the catch. You could see the movement there of the receivers that was not offside. Brock steps up and just delivers the ball. Looks like the ball got radar on it, and it just zooms in between the 2 and the 3 on the jersey number of Rocky DiPietro.
Perfectly thrown, Jack. DiPietro caught that under very tight coverage from Ken Haley, the defensive back. So Brock is 5 for 6, a 40-yard gain there. He sets to throw it again. Puts it up and misses down around the 10-yard line. He had Johnson, wide receiver from Long Beach State, where he played his college football, the ball thrown out of bounds. You saw it's going to be second down, but the Ticats making all the noise in the early minutes of this football game. We're almost halfway through the first quarter. And there's the story on Brock throwing the football so far.
Tyrone Jones again was on the last blitz, number 35. He's a heavy blitzing backer.
Al Bruno has to like what he has seen so far. Watchuk centers it for Brock. Good catch under tight coverage again. It'll be close to a first down in the area of the 13-yard line.
I tell you, if it's 3rd and 1, meaning 3rd and short up here, the defense is a yard off the ball. I've seen Dieter Brock sneak the ball maybe 900 times, Chevy, over a number of years, and we'll just see what happens. Let's take a look on the rush here. Let's watch Tyrone Jones coming from the outside, and again, they're front 3. Jones taking an inside rush. Brock finds the hooking receiver. DiPietro, a great possession receiver.
Ken Haley with the tackle as those linebackers were coming to no avail.
First and 10.
13-yard line of the favored Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Remember, the Tiger Cats have had trouble scoring the last couple of games. But right now, they're attempting 2 past the midway mark of this first quarter in Edmonton. That will result in a loss of 2 for Rufus Crawford, the slot back. Met by Aaron Brown, the former Ohio State linebacker who had a brief fling with Philadelphia and Tampa Bay in the National Football League before coming to Canada.
Here we go again. And then Dieter Brock was complaining here that linebacker number 72 really takes a cheap shot here. But let's watch coming upfield, holding the contain on the football. Again with Ty Jones.
There's Aaron Brown, so it makes it second down and 13 to go for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Brock finds a huge gap up the middle. Dieter Brock for the Hamilton touchdown.
I'll tell you what. They said he couldn't run.
I think you could have run through that hole, Jack.
That's exactly right. People have to zone up and play a lot of zone defense today because of the footing out there. And as a result of that, it's taken away a lot of the defensive skills of the Bombers. And I'm certain that the offense of the Ticats has really taken advantage of it.
Well, he doesn't run much. This is his longest game running the ball of the entire season. Picked a good time to do it. Well, Dieter Brock in for the touchdown. Here's the point after attempt now. That is up and through. And the Hamilton Tiger Cats strike first for a touchdown lead over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers of 7-0. First quarter Grey Cup on a cold day. Stay with us from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada.
Win. We got to practice stopping Sarinsky. Murphy, you're Sarinsky. The dog meat.
bounces up. Zarinsky has blockers.
The best never comes easy. That's why there's nothing else like
You
it.
guys getting the hang of this?
Bud Light.
Okay, running my way. Down!
Bring out your best.
Bud Light. Bring out your best.
Your best deserves the best.
Bud Light.
The less filling light beer with a first name and taste.
Zarinsky's got some moves, huh?
Well, here's Brock, but he paid a price for scoring that touchdown. Fowler saying, good afternoon, Well.
This was just a play just before and a handoff, and that's where he was really upset. Dieter Brock is a very tough and competitive guy, and he came right back, ran the next one in for a touchdown. So this has brought a little more emotion to the game, and it's great.
Another low bounding kickoff attempt. 30-yard line. The Bombers will have it around the 33. Aaron Brown in the shallow receiving zone brought it back for Winnipeg as they try to recover now from Hamilton striking first.
Hamilton's defensive structure has been basically all year long good four-man front, and they give you a good pass rush, 4-3 and then 5, and the American viewer again, we got the extra guy up here. They play the nickel defense as a base. That's it, 4-3, 5, and that's the look that they're showing right now.
Bombers are the host of deep receivers who can really hurt you as Clemens looks for one of them right now. Flares it out here, intercepted. Hamilton's defense has done it again.
Felix Wright is the guy. He got 4 in the last ball game. Felix Wright has been the surprise defensive football player the last month of the season up here. Imagine him picking up 4 in one game against the defending champions last week, and now making a big play here, getting those guys in scoring position again.
The pass was intended for the back flaring out of the backfield, Willard Reeves. But there was Felix Wright to pick it on. He's from Drake University, and he is having a field day here in the CFL playoffs of '84. As Jack said, 4 last week, and now a pickoff here in the first quarter of the Grey Cup game. Great momentum for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Inside the 30-yard line is Mark Draganola, the fullback, still going down inside the 25. And that'll give Hamilton another quick first down.
The place is really livening up here because nobody in Canada, I don't believe, anticipated this kind of a turnaround. But that's what football's all about. Football is a game of emotion, and it's on the side right now of the Ticats.
Slipping, but the fullback becoming the running back that he is, staying on his feet. Look at him chew up the yardage for 13 yards. From the 22 now, first down. Here's Shepard trying the right side. Here's inside across the 15-yard line. Close to another first down. He'll pick up 8 on that carry. And it's all going Hamilton's way.
And I don't think there's any doubt that it's the extreme firmness of the field right now that's taking away a little quickness from the defense because you can't really get a bite. You can't wear a cleat. You can't get a bite to get off and get that defensive explosion that you need to contain somebody like the Ticats.
Crowd here warmed on a cold day by the excitement of Hamilton's early thrust. Second down and 2. That'll be close for Draganola, who got up near the desired 12-yard line. Maybe a little bit short right now. Here's Tom Meade.
Get down there with Felix Wright. Felix, can you describe the coverage you're in on that interception?
Well, we're on zone there. What we're trying to do is mix it up. Play a mixture of man and mixture of zone, keep them all balanced, not let them know what we're doing. Right there we're in zone, and I stayed back and waited till the last second and came up.
What you've seen is Clemens throwing the ball well.
He's not throwing it too bad. It's still a bit early. We're going to get to him.
Thanks, Felix. Now let's go back up to Don.
All right, he's got to be a happy man. What a playoff series he's had, helping win the East with 4 last week, and now this interception that is Hamilton with third down, about half a yard to go between the 12 and 13-yard lines of the Blue Bombers, and they're going to go for it. They're down hot right now.
Dieter Brock will seek his ball. The defense is a yard off the football, and so he should step right up in there.
Exactly what he does, and will certainly, it appears, have enough for the desired first down. Dieter Brock with that important restraining zone of 1 yard, utilizing it as quarterbacks do in this situation in Canada to keep the Hamilton drive alive. Doug McIver, the nose guard, met him there, but not in time to stop him from getting the first down.
There are few guys that have more physical strength than Dieter Brock. He's a very strong person, I'll guarantee you that.
Brock swings it out to the right side to Jet. Jet's down to about the 6-yard line. The Tiger Cats, remember, can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. Marker about the 1-yard line. Dwayne Jett brought down by Donovan Rose, the Miners' left cornerback.
Again, I would think that just be looking for a little curl in on the inside pattern. They like to throw the ball to Rocky DiPietro, big number 23, playing an inside slot like a tight end back home. He split out to the right side a little bit.
Second down, about 6 to go. Touchdown. Here it is for Rocky DiPietro, and the Tiger Cats go on top 13-0.
Just a little turn-out pattern instead of a turn-in pattern. Brock has hit that oftentimes, and Dieter Brock has got a hot hand, which is not unusual, but he got the defense of the Bombers reeling. He's 9 for 11, almost 100 yards throwing the ball, 2 touchdowns, and I'll tell you what, he's got a lot of stunned people in this stadium. Let's watch Brock here. Just takes a little quick drop, hits the pitcher on the turnout pattern, and it's enough for this thing. The former soccer player from West Germany as a youngster, anyway, Bernie Ruoff, kicks it through, and it's 14-zip.
Ruoff himself, a former Winnipeg Blue Bomber, makes it indeed 14-0 for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. One more look at that touchdown that puts the Cats on top in this Grey Cup game.
You know what I don't like about dandruff? Dandruff shampoos. I'm afraid they won't leave my hair the way I like it. This shampoo cares for my hair. It's the only one with a self-balancing formula. Puts dandruff protection where I need it, on my scalp, not on my hair, and it conditions where I need it. Leaves my hair looking and feeling good. Yeah, my shampoo's a dandruff shampoo, but it's today's Head & Shoulders. It cares for my hair.
Do you have any Giorgio Brutini in a size 11?
Are you kidding? We've got shoes and boots of every kind, in styles and colors that'll blow your mind.
Giorgio Brutini.
If you're dressing up or if you're dressing down, for a day on the run or a night on the town, dressing casual or sporty, looking mellow or bold, every Giorgio design is a sight to behold.
I'll take 2 pair of boots. They'll be great for the fall. And box up the rest because I've taken them all.
Giorgio Brutini, because you can never get too much of a good thing.
Well, that is the story here. A stunned crowd in Edmonton seeing the underdog Hamilton Tiger Cats quickly get a 2-touchdown lead. Kevin Niles and Sean Kehoe stationed back between the goal line and 5 to accept the Hamilton kickoff. Remember, Winnipeg, the Western champions, and this is a Western city. They get a lot of backing here. Favored by 14 points coming in. Heather Squibber running down about the 38-yard line. So the Bombers, like the Cats before them, will have position close to midfield on the brief run back. Let's go down to Bill Stevenson.
David Shaw is with me. David, what's the situation? Everybody seems to be changing their shoes. Are you having trouble with your footing?
Yeah, you just got to put on what is better for your feet. Everybody got different style of shoes they like to play in, and all we can do is go out there and try the shoe, and if it don't work, we got to come in and change. We brought about 4 different pairs of shoes, and we got to find the right combination of shoes. I want to say hello to Mom and Dad at home.
This is Kehoe getting out of bounds for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers up near midfield, about the 53-yard line. Remember, it's 110 yards long in Canada. Felix White made the interception that led to the Bombers of the Ticats' second touchdown, forced him out of bounds. Here's Tom Mees, Rocky DiPietro.
Rocky, you guys were 2-touchdown underdogs. You scored the first 2 times. If there was a weak link in Winnipeg, it was the defensive secondary. How do you find it?
Well, we knew they were going to put a lot of pressure on us. Our offensive line so far has really responded well and given Dieter some time. That's all we need.
Are you surprised how easily you moved the ball on them?
No, we're not. We moved the ball effectively the last couple games against them. It's just that we fell behind and we had to go through another game. But we thought we could move the ball along against them.
Thanks, Rocky. Good luck to you. All right, Hamilton up, gentlemen.
All right, Tom Clements making sure of the first down. That quarterback snake gated and abetted by that 1-yard restraining zone. Gets it for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in the Hamilton territory now at the Hamilton 54-yard line. With 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go in the opening quarter, the Bombers find themselves 2 touchdowns behind, 14-0 to Hamilton. Same kind of thing happened in the Grey Cup 3 years ago. Heavily favored Edmonton found themselves 20-0 down, had to come back to win it 23-20, and maybe Tom Clements got shaken up with Rich Restore coming in on the attempt to sneak for the first down.
That's exactly right. They came in and they really made a couple of not late hits, but shots that before he was going on down. And as a result of that, he had to take a knee. And John Hufnagel, the Penn State quarterback, is coming in now. He's a veteran, too, and he's done a good job whenever he's been called on.
12 years with 3 CFL teams, John Hufnagel, you say, from Penn State. He hasn't started a game since October 23rd of last year, comes in relief again. Let's go to Bill.
The problem as far as Tom Clements is concerned is he's lost one of his contact lenses, and he's trying to get that back in his left eye. It's not the lips or anything else.
Young Pantner came out of the backfield that time and made the catch. You can see what the Bombers are trying to accomplish. They're running all their receivers off the ball, pushing the defense back, and then they're just dropping the ball off to their backs coming out of the backfield in early motion. It picks up plus 18 on that one.
An 18-yard gain for Capter coming in for Sean Keogh. Gerald Best, the right cornerback for Hamilton, made the tackle, but not before Capter had picked up the first down. The ball now, 36-yard line of Hamilton as the Western champion, heavily favored Blue Bombers come scratching back here late in the first quarter with 14-0 deficit. This has been a good Grey Cup game. By no means the blowout that many thought it would be. In fact, Grey Cup games traditionally between these two have been outstanding. Perhaps the best back in 1958, a seesaw 35-28 ball game. We may be in for the same kind of afternoon here. $112 yards for Hamilton, just 33 for Winnipeg so far. So Hufnagel, rolling with plenty of time to throw, makes the strike out there to number 39, Sean Keogh is back in. And Keogh is down near the first down marker. He'll be about 1.5 yards short. The Bombers are on the move. Mark Streeter forced him out of bounds.
And again, they were just sitting in the zone defense here. Let's just watch this unfold here. As John Hufnagel takes it, he sets a strong set, offensive set to his left and rolls to the wide side of the field. You can see it happen here. They just into a 3-deep zone, and they get themselves caught with 1 man short in the under coverage, and as a result of that, hitting the back, and it's a plus 8.5.
Clements was 1 for 3, but Hufnagel's gone 2 for 2 at his passing. Here's the bread and butter man up the middle, Willard Reeves. Reeves from North Arizona State penetrates the 20-yard line for a Bomber first down, and the Western champions are on the move. A minute left in the first quarter. Leo Ezra, a former Winnipeg linebacker, made the stop now on behalf of the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
They had brought in the 2 big guys. Now they've come back with their 2 good slots, Poplowski and House, and they come back with Tommy Clemens.
Top rusher in the CFL, over 1,700 yards. Winner of the Most Outstanding Player Award, the Stanley Award, Willard Reeves. Clemens back in, through the hands of Keogh at the 13-yard line. Second down and 10 for the Blue Bombers. So Tom Clemens, whose ribs have been of such concern, as we heard earlier, simply misplaced the contact lens. That's all that's wrong with him, as Cal Murphy, the head coach of the Bombers, looks on. One more look, just led him a little bit too far. So Capter will come on now for Keogh on second down and 10 from the Hamilton 18-yard line. Just 15 seconds to go in the first quarter.
The recovering team is playing the defensive left end, and he's been the contained guy again on this side, right side of the field.
Clemens Swift got up and overthrew his man in the end zone.
Good pressure from the 4-man front, and they just dropped deep again, and Clemens wanted to come back to the short side of the field. Just didn't have time to get the man that he wanted, Jeff Boyd.
Jeff Boyd from Cal State, Florida, has done a lot of damage to opposing defenses. Couldn't gather that pass in as Clemens will head to the sidelines on third down, and Winnipeg Blue Bombers are going to attempt a field goal with Trevor Kennard.
Trevor Kennard is probably the shortest guy in the league, at 5'6", about 160 pounds, but he can kick field goals of over 50. Let's watch him on this one.
From the 25, Kennard is good.
Right on.
14-3 on the play that ends the first quarter of the Grey Cup game, with the underdog Hamilton Tiger Cats holding a 14-3 lead over the favored Winnipeg Blue Bombers on a frozen, frigid day in Edmonton, Alberta, in the heart of Western Canada. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Time. It takes time to create quality. The quality taste of Budweiser. Time to select the choicest ingredients. For exclusive Beechwood aging, to brew the distinctively clean, crisp taste of Budweiser. Quality taste. That's what people want in a cold glass of beer, and this is the one they want. somebody still cares about quality.
There are lots of times when overnight is just not fast enough.
Hello, Federal? I've got to get this to the coast today.
With Zap Mail, we can get an exact copy of something clear across the country in just 2 hours from the minute you pick up the phone. Contracts, documents, drawings, whatever. Incredibly, in just 2 hours. Zap Mail from Federal Express, when overnight is just not fast enough.
Monday night on ESPN, the Steelers and the Saints match up man-to-man in a preview of the game in New Orleans. The outcome is up in the air. When Danny Abramovich played the game, the Saints were just getting off the ground. He was too small and too slow, but he became an NFL superstar. Then the seasons changed with a special college basketball preview. We'll cover all the big men on campus, from preseason practice to playoffs. It's all here Monday on ESPN.
We begin quarter two with Hamilton leading 14-3. The Tiger Cats, after the Winnipeg field goal to win quarter one, elect to start from the 35-yard line, which is their option, and Brock will hand out to Shepard, who's getting a lot of pursuit and a lot of trouble. He is out of bounds with a loss of about 5 yards. So the Bombers getting fired up now as they scored in the last play of the quarter. Ken Haley led the way along with Brown in on the running back Shepard. Second down and 15 to go now. Lost the better part of 5 yards.
They were just sitting in a defense that time. Let's take a look at these stats very quickly. You can see where Hamilton has an edge on everything presently. But that can change very dramatically and quickly with the kind of offense that the Bombers have.
They made the most of their opportunities to maintain possession much of that quarter. Pass going high, and number 7, Dwayne Jett from Hawaii, could not bring it down. So they shut him down quickly, and it'll be third down and punting time for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. They're mixed up on that play, obviously.
What they were trying to accomplish that time was to send all the receivers out to the left, and they wanted to come back and hit a quick screen to the short side of the field to Jett, but it was incomplete, and there was nothing there.
One of the CFL's premier kickers, Bertie Rowan, just 28 yards on the one effort today. We'll try to improve on that right here. Early in the second quarter, his team leading Winnipeg 14-3.
Too much time.
They whistle it down. There will be no return as they get called for taking too long to get the ball away. So Niels and Keogh will await another punt as they'll take it 5 yards deeper to the 25. That's going to help Winnipeg's field position.
Hamilton, number 10. Third down repeated.
Delay of game, 5 yards.
There are no fair catches here. Young Kevin Nels, number 25, one of the punt returners here, has just come on the second half of the season and just been outstanding. An extremely quick kid and a tough kid. He's broken a few this year.
Again, not a great drew-off punt. It's a Hamilton bounce though to the 50-yard line, and they will shut down Kevin Nels right there. To the ball near midfield. 14-3 is the score for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Grey Cup continues in a moment from Edmonton.
If he can't take his eyes off the ball game, give him something more exciting than first down on the 40-yard line. Go to the Nob Hill Plaza Breezeway and shop at Intimate Expressions. Intimate Expressions, featuring exciting men's and women's lingerie, creative fantasy clothing, exotic massage oils, fun-loving cards and games for every occasion. Enjoy more Intimate Expressions. 575 Hugs in the Nob Hill Plaza Breezeway. Intimate Expressions.
Hi, this is Glenn Mitchell for Yakima Dodge, where we sell for less, and we'll prove it.
The proof is in the prices, like this 81 Ford Mustang 4-cylinder automatic, just $49.95. A 1983 Pontiac Firebird with air conditioning, tilt wheel, and more, just $89.95. Or a 1983 Mazda RX-7, absolutely loaded and low miles. You can drive off the lot today at just $191.34 a month.
Remember, that's Yakima Dodge, where we sell for less.
Visions of warm nights and palm trees. As you look at the bowl lineup on ESPN, BYU may well be the top-ranked team in the nation. They'll be in the Holiday Bowl in San Diego. The Aloha Bowl will come from Hawaii, along with the Blue Bonnet, Rose Bowl, of course, Ohio State, USC, the Japan Bowl. You'll see them all on ESPN with a great lineup of bowl games.
I've always liked checking that Holiday Bowl out. That's a great game. BYU has been a great team to watch because of the passing attack that they've had now for a decade.
Led this year by Robbie Bosco. And here is Reeves, the big box for Winnipeg, getting out to about the 50 of Hamilton. That'll be good for about 7 yards. Mitchell Price, the right defensive end, tracked him down. But Reeves can do a lot of damage to you, as he's the man who, of course, sets up the pass. But in Canada, as you know, Jack, and we should explain, the pass is used to open up the lanes, the running lanes.
That's exactly right. In other words, they can get those backs in motion, headed toward the line of scrimmage, and just dump the ball off to put the pressure on the periphery that way.
Clemens puts it up.
Look at that. Another one.
The Ticats box. Streeter, 40-yard line. Streeter out of bounds near the 30 of Winnipeg. They do it again.
It's not that he got hit in the rib. That's not what's causing the interception. He's throwing the ball well. Just misread the defense again. It was just a zone. And again, Streeter just came up and he played the flat. Just watch right here. Sean Keno's just hanging there. Streeter just playing back in the flat zone and jumped the ball. That's all he had to do. He just laid back and reacted to it.
Streeter, in his second year out of the University of Arizona, takes them down to the 31.5-yard line of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, who have to be shell-shocked at the events here this afternoon. About 3 minutes down to the quarter. Flag is thrown. Flag and over. No, Pietro. Pietro inside the 20-yard line for what would be a first down.
It could be a procedural call.
Scott Flegel, safety, had to make the tackle on him. And it is against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. So a break for the Bombers there will stall the Cats' momentum for at least a little bit. These teams have not been in the Grey Cup since 1965, but they've provided...
Offside, Hamilton number 7, first down receiver.
That was the wide receiver Dwayne Jett offside. I was going to say provided some great Grey Cup moments, some matchups over the years.
This is his first game in a number of weeks. I wouldn't want to protect the guy that way, but as a wide receiver, all he has to do is look in at the ball and go on a movement on the ball.
Another flag thrown. The Bombers may have an offside this time, as Flaganola, the fullback, penetrates the 30, then draws another flag.
Could be a roughing on that play on top of a...
Delbert Fowler may have committed a late hit, along with Tyrone Jones getting through there. It looked like the Bombers may have moved early on the snap of the ball, which they did.
So that will be reviewed.
Let's go to Tom Meade.
Thank you very much. I got Mark Streeter with me. Mark, the second big interception of the day for you guys. Are you doing anything different to confuse the Winnipeg offensive attack?
Well, we're trying to disguise our coverages a little bit and just play hard, tough football. But first of all, I want to thank the Lord for having me out here in the first place.
University of Arizona, you've seen warmer days. How is Tom Clements throwing the ball, and Huffnagel as well?
Tommy, it seems like he's having a little problem with his release since he had the injury. Huffy's doing a great job. It's about time for me to go.
All right, Mike Streeter's got to go. We got to go to Bill Stevenson. Bill?
You're looking at Tom Huffnagel, John Huffnagel, who went in briefly, but is not warming up. In other words, as far as Cal Murphy, head coach of the Bombers, is concerned, he is going to go with Clements as long as he's able to, because he's his #1 quarterback. And I think, Jocko, you can understand that. You go with your #1 guy, even if he isn't too hot. And I think he'll do that at least for the rest of the half. And for now, all Huffnagel can do is pace back and forth along the sideline.
That's all. Every quarterback goes through that.
Here's Brock, first down, 18-yard line, and his receiver went down. The ball sailed over his head. Dwayne Jett taken down there at the goal line. Hamilton benefiting from 2 penalties in that previous play. Offside Winnipeg and unnecessary roughness Winnipeg will now have second down, and the ball is at the 12-yard line of the Blue Bombers.
The last time was a man coverage in the defense, and he came in a blitzing situation. The back was coming out of the backfield. Johnny Shepard just broke free, right wide open. Just didn't have time to set, look, and throw the ball.
Big second down play for Brock and the Tiger Cats. Into the end zone, way over the head of Rocky DiPietro. It's going to be third down, and the Cats will likely settle for 3. That'll reinstate their 2-touchdown lead, which they have enjoyed since the midway part of the first quarter, as they shocked a nationwide crowd across Canada and the United States, plus the 60,000 brave souls who are here at Commonwealth Stadium as Bernie Ruoff will be attempting it. Brock very steady on his feet. He certainly has the right footwear for this kind of field has gone 10 for 14 in passing. And has certainly outclassed Tom Clements and John Humpnagel. Humpnagel more accurate of the two Winnipeg quarterbacks. Here is the attempt through for the field goal by Bernie Ruoff. So Hamilton now back in possession of a 14-point lead, leading 17-3. 3.5 minutes gone in quarter 2 in Edmonton.
Once it was hard to find good-looking slacks to fit everybody just right. Then men's stores began selling Sansevelt slacks and J-Mar slacks. Many in practical, comfortable, pure wool with a sewn-in wool mark label. 36,000 different sizes, fabrics, colors, styles to fit any man better, including you. Sansevelt slacks, J-Mar slacks, from J-Mar Ruby.
Remember those nice, quiet, lovable hush puppies? Well, now hush puppies are making some noise.
Lots of style. Style for the man on the go. Styles for today, styles for work and for play. Comfort and style is coming your way. So put yourself in our shoes and find out what all the noise is about.
Available at Hush Puppies, shoe stores, and other fine retailers.
Well, as boxing fans know, ESPN's top-ranked series is outstanding. And coming up on Wednesday the 28th from the Showboat Hotel in Las Vegas, another great card. Sam Smith and Al Bernstein will be there to watch for it. 9 Eastern Time, 6 Pacific Time. Top-ranked boxing November the 28th from Las Vegas, Nevada. There's the time remaining in the first half. Hamilton leading the favorite Winnipeg Blue Bombers 17-3. Bernie Ruoff kicks it away. They're getting out across the 40-yard line, waits for more yardage, gets an extra 4 to the 44, and the Blue Bombers will start from there.
It's kind of interesting watching those kickers like Ruoff on their left foot, which is their placement foot. They got a little studded kind of a traction shoe, and just a regular soccer shoe on their kicking foot, which is their right foot.
That's the scoring story, mostly Hamilton. Tony Clements, the quarterback. Getting pressure, can't find a man open. Now, way downfield, has one. Out of bounds, it's James or Joe Poplowski, former winner of the Outstanding Canadian Player of the Year award. He's got the ball at the 39 of Hamilton. The Bombers start to move again. 27 yards on that game.
And the reason they had time to throw the ball, just a 4-man rush. You had 4 linebackers in a 4-deep zone. And Poplowski, the inside receiver, just found the depth between the intermediate depth between the linebackers and the deep backs, and it was a 27-yard game. Put them in good field position already.
Just the second completion now, and 7 tries for Clements. He will put it up again. Good pass blocking for him out of bounds. The catch made by James Murphy. It'll be second down and 10 from Hamilton's 39. So the coverage was there in the secondary for Hamilton. Gerald Betts guarding the receiver on that play. As, of course, this field's wide enough as it is. 12 yards wider than an American field. You don't need extra yards to catch the ball.
Right. That time Tommy just ran a good bootleg play. It was just showing that same flood action to the wide side, came back to the short side to throw the bootleg pattern.
Murphy from Utah State wide right. Jeff Boyd from Cal State Fullerton spread wide on the left side as Clements on second down puts it downfield again. Good coverage there. Number 31, Rick House, got his hands on it, but that is all.
But number 31 from the other team, Ken Zondiazzi, the All-American from Georgia, came in and made a good play. He's been the leader of that defense at Hamilton for 4 or 5 years. Outstanding player.
Well, you see all kinds of garb here.
Look
This
at that guy
forgot to put his shirt on.
Look.
Mind you, he's got the half glove.
I'll tell you what, you think there's not so crazy?
But as intelligent as this one here.
Now, most geese have gone south. They're smart, right? That has to be a dumb goose.
Not as dumb as the guy we just saw. Here is Kennard. A long field goal attempt is good. Kennard hits from 46 yards away, and it cuts the Hamilton lead by 3. 17-6 Grey Cup game. 5 minutes gone in quarter 2 in Edmonton.
It's the only body you'll ever have. Make the most of it. And if you're serious about exercise, and you should be, why not the best? Nautilus for the home. For full information about the new and revolutionary Nautilus for the home, call toll-free 1-800-445-9000. That's 1-800-445-9000.
Oh, you can't say no to a pistachio. You can't say no to the smile. With a California pistachio, the grin'll keep you grinning all the while.
Ooh, pistachios. California pistachios. How can you say no to such a friendly face?
Well, the Bombers getting set to kick off the 35-yard line again as Hamilton elects to receive the kickoff. Leading 17-6, just over 10 minutes to play until halftime.
Paul Bennett, number 24, and Rupert Crawford, number 21. Outstanding return guys, punt and kickoff. They do in any kind of weather, they're also outstanding.
They move up for it. Taken by Crawford. He has nowhere to go. Could not stay in bounds. Steps out around the 25-yard line. I want to say hello to Johnny Esau, who's the head of CTV Sports. He's recovering from surgery in the warm climes of Sarasota, Florida, and just yesterday was elected to the Canadian Football League Hall of Fame media section. Johnny's a former Winnipeg Blue Bomber announcer, and we wish him a speedy recovery and envy him for being down there in Florida this afternoon.
You know, we're not too far from his old hometown of North Battleford, Saskatchewan. That's the same climate and the same latitude as this. He's a smart guy being where he's at.
Yeah, he knows what to do this time of year. Here's Brock. He's got time. Puts it up. Got a bad pass away. His fullback, Draganola, got a hand on it. He saw him. That's all. I understand that Jim Finks, the former Calgary Stampeder GM, now with the Chicago Cubs, their president, has organized a big party in Chicago. They're watching ESPN this afternoon. One more look down this play.
The Canadian club there's got 300 members. Brock is just going back, just trying to get the ball into the flat a little bit. Again, anticipating a little bit more zone coverage than Winnipeg normally shows. They're showing a zone here. 3 deep zone. He tried to attack it, but with the right pattern, just was not thrown well.
Second down, still 10 outside the 26-yard line. Brock has to hurry his throw. Intercepted by the Blue Bombers. Winnipeg forcing the turnover. It is Dave Shaw, next handle, the Tiger Cats, with the ball out of bounds inside the 30-yard line as the Bombers go on the move. And Rufus Crawford, the former Seattle Seahawk, is taken up. Hamilton can ill afford to lose this man. A finalist in the Outstanding Player category for the Shenley Award. Right in front of him, cutting in front of the intended receiver.
Again, that was kind of interesting just to see the defensive back there, Shaw, just laying back on the ball and really just jumping the ball. He came from the outside and intercepted the ball on the inside. He's been a veteran up here. A heck of a defensive back, David Shaw.
Let's go to Tom Meades.
Don Cherrier made an excellent point. David Shaw, former member of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. There are 9 former Ticats on Winnipeg and 5 former Blue Bombers on Hamilton. So a lot of these guys in these two teams have played against each other before, but in the other guy's uniform.
And the quarterback, Dieter Brock, now, of course, for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, set upon leaving Winnipeg. Not my kind of town. He said all there is to do there is go to the zoo. You may see some signs of preference to the monkeys and the zoo and Dieter Brock put up by some very proud Winnipeg fans here today. But right now, Tom Clements has the Bombers at the 28-yard line. Here's Reeves, the big fullback, 25, 21-yard line. Picks up 6 on the play. Cut down by Grover Covington, the left defensive end.
Willard Reeves is really a strong runner. I'll tell you what, you really feel it, especially on a day like today when you make a hit. So I think that maybe they'll come back and run him again with the 2nd and 3.5 or 4-yard situation.
26 yards for Reeves so far on 4 carries. Leaves the Bombers 2nd down and 4 from the 22-yard line. He'll take it again, this time for a first down near the 15. Willard Reeves for North Arizona State, Canada's outstanding football player of 84. Leo Ezrin, the linebacker, stopped him that time. Right now, the Hamilton Cat fans were playing a happy tune, but have to dig in against the Winnipeg Blue Bombers thrust this time. Bombers trail 17-6, second quarter, midway through. First down, outside the 16-yard line. Clemens, wide open at Keyhole. Gets away from Ezra, and at the 5-yard line, steps out of bounds near the 3. Peter forced him out. It'll be first and goal to go.
Again, I like what Tommy Clemens is doing. He's changing up. A lot of times young quarterbacks, especially in the league up here, they'll get in the habit of running the ball on first, throwing on second. He comes up, and then he just throws the ball on first down in this situation and puts him in scoring position.
Wide open, then a foot race around the linebacker Ezra. Finally in the grasp of Streeter. First down from the 3-yard line and touchdown to go for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Reed, 6-point Winnipeg.
I would think that it's offside on Hamilton, I would think.
Flag is down, far side of the field, both sides of the field as a matter of fact.
From the enthusiasm on the Winnipeg side of the ball, it's
touchdown Sam. It's against Hamilton. The penalty has been declined, so indeed it is 17-12. Point after coming up. Reed, with superior blocking on the left side, just danced into the end zone. Here's Kenner's one-after attempt. It is through. So the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, fighting adversity all day and giving up important turnovers, have run within 4 of the underdog Hamilton Tiger Cats with half a quarter remaining until halftime. 7:32 on the clock at Commonwealth Stadium.
We got a contest going. This is a good football game.
You bet. Again, it is reminiscent of the game 3 years ago in Montreal when heavily favored Edmonton found themselves down 20-0. Came back and just pulled it out by 3 points. Don't forget, next Saturday, Arkansas and SMU, more great college football on ESPN. That'll be coming up at 7:30 Eastern Time with good friends of mine, Jim Simpson and Paul McGuire. Kennard, busy the last few minutes, getting set to kick it away from the Winnipeg 45-yard line. Shepard is back at the 5-yard line for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Along with Howard Fields. Crawford taken up earlier. Normally runs back these kicks. But Shepard hasn't got very much room. Gets tripped down immediately. Brought it back about 2 to the 17-yard line. So the Bombers, you can sense them gaining momentum. Have got the Cats pinned deep.
Frank Robinson came down there, really made the hit. The young linebacker that's been traded from Saskatchewan to Winnipeg from Tulane University.
Somebody's got himself a souvenir of this Grey Cup game. He's going to pass it on up. You know, we haven't seen today, it's the wave. I can't think of a better day to get up and wave than here in Edmonton. Maybe that'll happen. Here's Draganola heading for the 20-yard line. Does just get there. But with a gain of only about 3 on the play. And the ground still Delbert Fowler and Tyrone Jones, the 2 outside linebackers. Of course, as Doug Stone, our statistician, points out, if they did try to stand up with a wave, they might freeze in that position, never get back down again. All right, we're talking pass routes here, likely, in terms of blocking for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers when they get the ball back. Dieter Brock's had an outstanding day, 11 for 18. He'll put it up again. Over the middle. Got a strike around the 25-yard line of Rocky Pietro, but he'll be a couple short of the first down. A day the Pietro has had so far. He was met there by Ken Haley, number 24, defensive back for the Bombers. Hamilton, leading twice by 14 points, has had that margin reduced now to only 4. We have 6:24 until halftime, and this one's close enough to produce what I think is the first measurement I can recall of this game this afternoon. And they don't quite get it. In fact, they're considerably short.
I would think it's a little over a yard. I would think they're probably going to punt the ball away, but it'll be interesting to see here. It's too much of a risk not to punt there.
Boy, they got to cover DiPietro the way he's played. Hold him up any way you can. So about a yard short. Ruoff, who does it all with the toe. He'll punt it away for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Bombers have got 3 defenders sprung out, a couple near midfield, 1 deep man inside the 40-yard line as the ball is on its way. Great hang time for the coverage. And the Bombers will start around the 51 as Kevin Nels brings it out for the Winnipeg club. 6 minutes and 8 seconds left. That was a 41-yard punt. Cal Murphy, head coach, sending his #1 quarterback, who has struggled a bit today with a sore rib, Tommy Clements, back in to direct this series as the Bombers aim to regain the lead by halftime. But to take the lead they have never owned this afternoon.
It looks like Clements got his act together a little bit better now. He's settling in. He's changed up on both first down, running the ball some, and then he's throwing the ball on first down with some great successes. Here he goes on a roll up to the wide side of the field. Again, the same pattern against the zone that they're seeing is the 4 deep, zone 4 under covers. They're 1 man short in the flat, and he hits that back coming out of the backfield in early motion.
Sean Keogh played his college football right here at Edmonton, was knocked out of bounds by Felix Wright. Not before he measured the first down marker well and picked one up at the 48-yard line of Hamilton.
Sean Keogh, as you indicated, played his university football right. He was a very quick kid. He was a sprinter in high school and a sprinter in university. You wouldn't know anybody was a sprinter in this kind of weather conditions.
No. Saw a moment ago there as it's first down. The Bombers creeping up in total yardage on Hamilton. Here's Reeves, penetrates the 45-yard line. Willard Reeves collects about 4. The grasp of Leo Ezrins. We have 5 minutes, 24 seconds until halftime of this breakup game. Again, just 4 points separate them now, but I'm sure many people are surprised the Hamilton Tiger Cats are in the ball game, let alone leading. They were the heavy underdogs coming in. Getting closer in first downs now as the edge in play shifts gradually over to Clements, the Blue Bombers, who have second down and half a dozen. Lobs it to Reeves, wide open over the middle for the Winnipeg first down. Hamilton's 35-yard line as he bounces off Leo Ezrins and Ben Zambiazzi.
I think you get the feeling now that Tommy Clements has a real picture of that defense in front of him, and he's just taking his time. He's not trying to grab everything. He's picking up 6, 7 on a pattern. Now he's in field goal range already, and he can't do anything foolish. And let's just watch. He's been using his offense extremely well. Using Reeves really well.
Clements has got a strike to Rick House. And House takes it down to the 15-yard line. Another Blue Bomber first down. Winnipeg really on the move after a slow start. Paul Bennett and Felix White combining on the tackle there.
As we talked about before, House is one of those Canadian receivers that's been around a long time. He doesn't use gloves, and they like to go to him on a possession-type pattern such as that was, just a turn in, and he just made a good catch and a good run following the catch.
Good for 19 yards. First down to the 15. Clements now 6 for 13. Reeves has it down to about the 12, collecting 3. Over Covington, number 77, stopped it with 3.5 minutes until halftime, and a 4-point Hamilton lead, looking shakier and shakier as this quarter progresses.
They might be fortunate if they can keep him to a field goal in this situation, going with a 1-point lead at halftime. I wonder if they're going to run a flood pattern to the wide side, get that back in the flat again. That's the way they started up every time.
Winnipeg is so explosive, deflects so quickly. Early start by Hamilton defensively. Clements, they put an arm on him, but he finds Sikorsky into the end zone. He goes, the 2 penalty markers are down. 2 flags on the play.
It's against Hamilton. They were jumped offside.
And the touchdown will stand. The Blue Bombers go on top for the first time today. The point after coming up, but Winnipeg has regained momentum in this Grey Cup. Stay with it.
If you're serious about business, you're already investing a lot of time and money and effort in your career. Now think for a second. Isn't your career, your future, worth 42 cents a day more?
Save $7.50 off the cover price with a subscription to the Wall Street Journal. Order 19 weeks for $39. Phone toll-free 800-372-3000. That's 19 weeks, just $39. And save $7.50. Phone 800-372-3000.
Tuesday, ESPN swings into action with Top Rank Boxing. Adolfo Medel meets Philadelphia's Freddie Pendleton in a bruising lightweight battle. Then meet former All-American Bill Carpenter. His courage and spirit made him the mastermind behind football's legend of the lonely end. Two more legends are up next. Irving Deacon Crane is fast on the draw, but can he beat Cowboy Jimmy Moore in a Billiard Stars shootout? See it all Tuesday on ESPN.
Took them a while to get rolling, but the Winnipeg Blue Bombers have finally gone on top. Touchdown by Joe Poplowski, and the point after by Trevor Kenner. They lead 20-17.
You know, it's kind of interesting. The last ball game in the Western Final, he used his two wide receivers. I'm talking about Clements, Murphy, and Boyd so well. They are guys that as a combination caught 23 touchdown passes. They had over 1,000 yards in reception each. They're not even used today. What he's doing, he's using his inside receivers, Poplowski and House, like on that drive. He's thrown the ball to his back, all three backs, because they brought Kentner into the ball game. And they got to make an adjustment defensively now, the Ticats, to counter that inside passing game. There it is here. Watching Poplowski coming under. Coming from the right side, and here he comes underneath the coverage. And like I say, he was up for the top Canadian Player Award this year, was just nipped by Nick Araka from Montreal, and he won it last year. So they've adapted really well offensively. Now we got to see if Hamilton can come back the second half and put the stoppers on him.
Here's Rufus Crawford back in the game, shaken up earlier, taken down as he crossed the 20-yard line. So Hamilton will start around the 22. As I say, he can't afford to lose Rufus Crawford, who will stay in the offensive backfield for this series of plays, directed by Dieter Brock, with just under 3 minutes until halftime. Tyrone Jones, who seems to be everywhere, especially on special teams, in on the tackle for the Blue Bombers, who now lead 20-17. But it's been, as you've seen, uphill all the way for the favored Winnipeg club. Dieter Brock's had a good afternoon. Capitalized on turnovers and moved the ball well. Now to Jet across the 25, picks up about 3. Delbert Fowler, the left corner linebacker, met him. Dieter Brock is 34 now, wants to go to the United States Football League next year. He's making about $250,000 in Canada, feels his market value is higher.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Well, as my baseball buddy Tony Kubek said, the only thing more obscene than today's salaries are what the salaries used to be. I think he's got a point, both baseball and football.
That's right.
Over the middle, it is incomplete, but tight coverage may be too tight on DPS. Well, interference indicated there against the Winnipeg Blue Bomber defenders. Ken Haley and Scott Flagel are in the area. Might be Flagel getting the flag for interference.
Forward pass interference, Winnipeg number 14.
It is Flagel. So the automatic first down will take it out to the 33-yard line for Hamilton, giving them a little breathing room as Brock now's got 13 for 20 and 125 yards passing. 2.5 minutes until halftime. Look out! Brock hit from behind. Ball pops free in the hands of the Blue Bombers and into the end zone for the touchdown. The Bombers widen their lead. Number 75 for Winnipeg, Stan McCallus. Tyrone Jones knocked it free, and McCallus was home 3 for 6.
We got to see that. Ty Jones has just been a dynamite player for the Bombers all year long. We'll watch him again. Young Stan McCallus has been a backup, and he came in and played a good portion of the season this year for an injury. Let's watch this unfold.
From the blind side, Brock never saw him coming. Jones. What a moment it's got to be for McCallus, a defensive end getting a touchdown. Here's Jones to hit, and the opportunist on the spot. Backup man McCallus for the score.
The concern that I have is your number 1 sack guy in the league, and he's uncovered, and he just comes in around the blitz and kills your quarterback.
There is the point after, and very suddenly the Winnipeg Blue Bombers assert what many felt was their superiority over Hamilton. They have taken now a 10-point lead with 2:26 to play in this half. But this defensive end, Stan McCallus, who played his college football in North Dakota, will not forget that moment, I'm sure. In Grey Cup history, scooping up a ball for a touchdown. So the Winnipeg fans, who must have been stunned in that first quarter, have come to life with a vengeance here in the second quarter. Got a couple of reminders for you of programming coming up on ESPN as the Bombers get set to kick it away. A great college basketball package coming up November 29th. Notre Dame, big football winners yesterday, will play Northwestern, Auburn, UAB in Indiana, and Notre Dame on December the 4th. So I love college basketball, Jack. That's exciting.
Oh, I do. Auburn and the University of Alabama at Birmingham will be a heck of a basketball game. A lot of old friends will be there.
Ball skipped out of bounds inside the 5-yard line.
I'll tell you what, when that pendulum is swung, it really swung hard the other way, didn't it? But you have to give Coach Murphy and his staff, they stuck with Tommy Clements, knew that Tommy, the veteran quarterback that he is, would adjust to the defenses that anybody's going to show. He's a bright guy and a great operator.
You hear talk about momentum. It exists indeed today, and how it is swung in the last few minutes in the second quarter as the Winnipeg Blue Bombers finally came to life at Kennard. Got the break there on that kick. Just touched it rolling out of bounds, leaving Hamilton stranded on their own 3-yard line.
He's going to be caught for too much time if he doesn't get here. He goes.
That is Mark Braganolo, the fullback, penetrating the 10-yard line, but will be short of the first down, getting out around the 11. Brock made the use of the turnovers that Winnipeg offered the Ticats. Made good use of them in the first quarter. But this Winnipeg team is just too strong and explodes so quickly, both defensively and offensively, too tough to keep down. They're ahead by 27-17.
Delbert Falder, the Ranger linebacker from Wyoming, made the hit on that one. He's been outstanding. They got him from the trade from Montreal Concord this year with Ken Shantoni.
Brock slipping. Nice ball back for yardage, but will miss the first down. In fact, we'll lose a couple on that play. It'll be third down and about 4 for the Ticats. Wiley Turner there to pin down Dieter Brock. Less than 2 minutes till halftime now.
And again, this kicking situation will put the Bombers in excellent field position because Trevor Kennard can knock the 50-yard field goals and everything such as that. That was a critical play right there.
So instead of looking maybe at clinging to a 1-point halftime lead, the Ticats will do well to be -10 when they get in and get warm at halftime here.
Exactly right.
From the end zone. Ruan, the next Blue Bomber. No charge, plenty of time to get it away. Hamilton third of the return. Here's Kehoe, 30, 25. Look at this. Kehoe out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. The Bombers are poised to strike again. Mark Braganolo hammering him out of bounds inside the 10. One-yard return, a yard longer than Ruoff's kick.
You can see when you're expecting that kind of a kicking game and they drop the 3 guys instead of the 2, bring them up short and 1 guy deep. That's been an outstanding thing because if he does nail the deep punt, then he's got 2 blockers in front of him. So it's been good on the part of the thinking of the Winnipeg coaching staff on their specialty team.
Lloyd left, Murphy right, first down, 8.5-yard line. Here's Reeves. Defense very well, but the Ticats would not let him turn that corner. Kept veering him outside. He'll take a loss of about 4 on the play. Felix White led the defensive charge for Hamilton.
Kantner coming into the ball game. They like him as a back coming out of the backfield.
Well, they got to be keying on him every time they see the ball handed off, and they had Reeves surrounded that time. Back to the 12. Second down, still goal to go for Winnipeg. 1 minute and 10 seconds, the clock moving in the first half.
There he is.
Look at the time, rolling out, now gets some pressure. And it's incomplete. No catch in the end zone. Boyd is upset. He thinks he had the ball for the touchdown, but 2 officials right there now. Some shoving as Boyd is pushed back by Felix Wright. And Felix run high here with less than a minute to go in the second quarter. Bomber bench can't understand it. Boyd thinks he got the touchdown, too, with the official ruled otherwise. One more look at it, Jack.
Well, it looked like they had a good position. Here's Tommy Clements just rolling out. It looks like he's going to be trapped. He's throwing the ball across the middle of the field. Let's just watch right here.
They ruled it touched the ground. He did not maintain
It looked like he was bobbling the ball. Bobbling the ball. He was going down. Did not have possession of the football. I think the official made a good call. He was in a position to make a good call anyway.
Tough call, but a good one. That replay showed. So they'll settle for an attempt for 3 points by Trevor Kennard. And go left, 20-yard line, up on its way and through. And the Blue Bombers have a 13-point lead. This is more like people thought it would be in this Grey Cup game. Winnipeg on top, 30-17. We've got 57 seconds, second quarter playing time remaining. Here's Boyd in the end zone. No question he had the ball in his hands, but watch the juggling act worthy of the Ed Sullivan show days gone by once he got it. Nope, and then the ground.
The guy made a good call.
Yeah, sure did. And a good call for this game, too, because if the Bombers score 7 there, it really might be out of sight. Tough enough now for Hamilton, down 30-17.
You know, sometime when those Ranger receivers get hit like this, and being as cold as it is, you could end up like a sack of deer horns, you know. It is cold on those. And they don't get that much action and they get hit.
Don Chevrier with Jack Goda, former CFL Grey Cup coach on 5 occasions, winning 4 of them. Bill Stevenson, Tom Mees at the sidelines for this special ESPN presentation of the Grey Cup 84. And don't forget, coming up very shortly, Sharon Smith, halftime. We'll have Sports Center and a complete update on what's been happening in the National Football League and elsewhere in the sports world this afternoon. Kickoff is down to Crawford. 30-yard line, taken down short of the 40, around the 37 with 52 seconds remaining.
I don't think there's any quarterback in our league that can use the clock as well as Dieter Brock can, so let's see what he can do with 52 seconds. He can get something going, move him in, and try to pick up at least another 3 going in at halftime, so a minus 10 wouldn't be that bad, Don.
I know you rate him as probably one of the great all-time CFL quarterbacks.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. I think the record proves for itself. I mean, he's had that kind of a winning record, and he's a tough guy, and he knows what he's doing with the football. Here's Johnny Shepard.
Finally, they catch up with him as he is jackhammered down by Frank Robinson out of Tulane, number 37, but he got a first down. Let's go to Bill Stevenson.
Thought you had the ball in the end zone. What happened?
Well, it was a low ball, and I was able to cradle it, get both hands underneath it. I definitely thought it was a catch, but it's one they just took away from us.
The club, though, suddenly has caught fire.
Yeah, well, we're upset. We came out and we're embarrassing ourselves right now, and we over the city of Winnipeg. They show too much pride all year long for us to come out and show what we showed the first quarter, so we're ready to play now.
I guess Hamilton or Winnipeg missed their call at kickoff time, but certainly answered the alarm in the second quarter, leading 30-17. A little over 30 seconds to go. From the 50-yard line as a flag flies, Brock to the sideline. Catch is made out of bounds by Jet number 7. So the question now is, what does Hamilton have to do at halftime to regroup? How do they get back to where they were in the first quarter, Jack?
Well, I think number one, what they have to do, they have to get their act together on defense. They have to stop the inside receiver a little bit and maybe play a little bit more man coverage or something on the outside, guys, because it's the inside receivers and the delay against their zone coverage to protect against the wide receiver that has hurt them so much this first half.
Of course, the turnovers that went their way helped immeasurably in the first half. Winnipeg has tightened up since then. Here's Ruoff now, 3rd down and 9, 26 seconds on the clock until halftime. He'll punt the ball away. Dropped it. Gets a second chance, gets a pretty good kick away. The defenders have come up, takes a Hamilton bounce inside the 20, down near the 16-yard line. And Kevin Nels will settle short of the 20 for a play or two for the Bombers with 13 seconds to go. The pressure squarely on Ruoff there. Nonetheless, with a bounce, he got off a 43-yard kick.
He showed some athletic skills there, didn't he? In other words, when he mishandled the ball here, instead of panicking, he gets out here and still gets the ball downfield. I guess that's that soccer background, moving and kicking on the move like that.
That's twice now he's had a bailout of trouble punting, rugby style.
Right. Well, they'll kill the clock here and go in with a big lead, 13 points.
They'll want to hurry in and get warm. 11 seconds as the clock stops on that play. With the Blue Bombers leading 30-17. after an alarming series of events in the first quarter, saw the Tiger Cats twice in possession of a 14-point lead. But class will tell, and did in that second quarter. So Tommy Clements, who has survived this first half with his ribs intact, gathering momentum as he goes along, will lead the Bombers to the locker room in possession of that 13-point lead, and making Cal Murphy a happy coach. He was stunned like every other Bomber fan in the first quarter here. So at halftime, it is Winnipeg's Grey Cup game with 30 minutes to go at Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. We'll be back at halftime with some NFL scores and back to Edmonton later, right after this.
You think it's fun being the coldest Rainier beer in Yakima? I'm almost freezing. Roadrunner keeps me at 32 degrees. I'm so cold. Please pull me from the Roadrunner's frosty cooler and take me home. Hold me in your warm hand while you watch cable. And when you come to Roadrunner to get your Rainier, please take my little buddy here, too. A John Morrell hot dog in one hand, a Rainier in the other. We'll be grateful and you'll be happy. The coldest Rainier beer in town. So cold it begs you to take it home. Roadrunner.
Watch your mail for this envelope from Transamerica Financial Services. If you qualify, you could receive $15,000, $25,000, even $75,000. Plus, as a special introduction to Transamerica Financial Services, we may be able to arrange a $2,500 loan by return mail. Watch your mail for this envelope from Transamerica Financial Services. Transamerica, the power of the pyramid, is working for you.
Welcome back to SportsCenter Plus. I'm Sharon Smith. We will return you to Edmonton for the second half of the Grey Cup game in just a few minutes. The score again, Winnipeg 30, Hamilton 17 at the half. There is, of course, a lot of National Football League action going on. Let's update the scoreboard for you right now. Some big surprises so far today, especially a big surprise in Buffalo. Dallas Cowboys going into Buffalo as almost 10-point favorites, but didn't turn out to play like favorites in Buffalo. It's got a little bit of highlights of this one. In fact, all the scoring plays for the Buffalo Bills. Very first play from scrimmage, well, apparently that was going to be it for the Dallas Cowboys. Greg Bell, an 85-yard touchdown run, the longest of the season. He had 27 rushes for 206 yards on the day, and a 7-0 lead for the Bills there. Then in the fourth quarter, Joe Ferguson to Bell, another touchdown. Final 14-3, Buffalo beats the Dallas Cowboys. So the situation in the NFC East remains extremely tight because there were some other surprising developments today in that division. St. Louis Cardinals and the New York Giants going in with identical records, one game out in the NFC East. And highlights of that one, all the scoring, well, belong to the New York Giants. Highlights again, second quarter, scoreless on the reverse. Neil Lomax goes in untouched for a 1-yard touchdown and a 7-0 lead for the Cardinals. But turnovers destroyed St. Louis. Third quarter, it's a 7-3 game. Neil Lomax rolls right, throws into traffic. He is picked off by Gary Reasons. That led to a field goal, 7-6. The Cardinals lead by 1. Late in the quarter, Ali Hadji-Sheikh up and down all season. Well, he was up on this one. Bill Parcells, the coach, is thrilled to see it in a 9-7 lead for the New York Giants. Fourth quarter now, Phil Simms and Lomax traded interceptions. 3 passes in a row were picked off. Here, Lomax is intercepted by Mark Haynes, the 4th interception on the day for Lomax. Now, a Simms interception gave the ball right back, but on the Giants' next possession, Phil Simms rolls right, hits Lionel Manuel for an 11-yard touchdown. 16-7, the Giants lead here. St. Louis came back with a field goal, but that was all. And so the New York Giants, 16-10 over St. Louis. The Redskins and the Eagles also in that NFC East, and this one went to Philadelphia. 16-10, rookie free agent Andre Waters returned a kickoff 89 yards for the touchdown. Rookie Paul McFadden, 3 field goals. And that put the Eagles to their season record 5-6-1. Washington is 7-5. Along with the Dallas Cowboys, so things remain crowded, getting even more crowded at the top of the National Football League East. Other action, interesting game, at least if you're a New England Patriot fan, against the Indianapolis Colts. A lot of scoring in this one, most of it belonging to New England. Highlights there as well. First quarter action. Tony Eason hits Derek Ramsey for a 4-yard touchdown. First of 3 on the day for Ramsey, 7-0 the Patriots. Rich Camarillo punts for New England on 4th down. Paul Dombrowski races down to slap it out of the end zone. Patriots down it at the Colts 3. They were working extremely hard in this game today. The Colts in early trouble, working from their own 3. Don Blackman and Larry McGrew grab Middleton, tackle him in the end zone for a safety. And the Patriots continue to capitalize. Now, on the next possession, Eason hits Ramsey again. This time, it's a 25-yard touchdown pass play. And New England rolled all over the Indianapolis Colts. The final score, 50-17. Continuing on, Seattle Seahawks and the Cincinnati Bengals. Seattle, with their outstanding season so far, 9-2 going in, playing at Cincinnati at 4-7. Seattle favored going into the game, but just by 4 in spite of their impressive record. The elements were probably the biggest challenge to Seattle today. A lot of snow on the field, Riverfront Stadium. Bengals fumbled on the first possession. On their second, James Brooks is hit by Kevin Butler. The Seahawks take over in midfield. That set up a 2-yard touchdown run by Zachary Dixon. Extra point was good. Seahawks up 7-0. Second quarter now from the Cincinnati 12. Dave Craig finds Steve Largent on the slant pattern for the touchdown. The Seahawks a 14-0 lead. Fourth quarter, it's 17-6 Bengals trapped deep in their own territory. Schonert is tripped up by Jeff Bryant. It's a safety. That made it 19-6. Seattle went on to a 26-6 victory. So Seattle now 10-2 on the season. A very, very good season for the Seattle Seahawks. The Chicago Bears continue to win. A tough one against Detroit, playing in Chicago, 16-14. Bob Thomas kicked his third field goal of the game, 19 yards out with 2 seconds on the clock. That was what gave the Bears their 2-point victory. They remain on top, of course, in the NFC Central. They are 8-4. The Lions fall to 3-8-1. The Lions will not go on to the playoffs. The Rams and the Packers, 31-6. Green Bay wins big over Los Angeles. The Packs broke open a 14-6 halftime game. It was a pretty close one in the first half. They scored 17 unanswered points in the second half, so 31-6, that final, Green Bay over the Los Angeles Rams. Cleveland Browns and the Atlanta Falcons. It was Cleveland's defense, really, that did this one. A National Football League record-tying 11 sacks. Paul McDonald, a couple of touchdown passes as Cleveland beat Atlanta 23-7. There are late games, of course, also underway in the National Football League. We're going to take a short timeout and then update the scoreboard.
$1 million. That's a lot of money. $1 million in protection for every member of your family. But now you can have it with Mutual of Omaha's $1 million catastrophic health care plan. Now, here's affordable protection you can count on, no matter how high the bills go. Money for hospital and doctor bills, money paid in and out of the hospital, money paid in addition to any other coverage you have up to $1 million. Now, do you really need $1 million worth of health insurance? Well, ask Mr. and Mrs. Samuel Brady of Ogden, Utah. Mutual of Omaha has paid more than $100,000 in medical bills for their son, Nicholas. He still needs help, and we're still paying. Ask any of the thousands of policy owners who have collected $25,000, $50,000, $100,000 and more. You know, these days you really do need $1 million worth of protection. And now you can get it from the world's largest individual and family health insurance company, Mutual of Omaha. Founded in 1909, Mutual of Omaha today is protecting millions of Americans, paying more than $1 billion a year in benefits. Nearly 1 million Americans have responded to our national ad. And now you can get more information about the Mutual of Omaha plan that can pay you up to $1 million in protection for every insured member of your family. Call this toll-free number right now. Call now and you'll also get this free booklet, How to Stretch Your Health Care Dollars. The booklet and information are yours free with no obligation. To get both, call toll-free right now. The number is 800-544-1000. That's 800-544-1000. 800-544-1000.
The late games in the National Football League, the Miami Dolphins among those teams playing. They are 11-0, still working on their unbeaten season, playing at San Diego. It was San Diego scoring first, Dan Fouts to Eric Sievers, but now Miami has come back to tie up the game at 7. They are into the second quarter of play. Minnesota at Denver, the Broncos at 10-1. They share the second-best record in the National Football League. They have now gone ahead of Minnesota 21-7. Gerald White, a touchdown run, John Elway, a touchdown pass so far in that game. Kansas City and the Los Angeles Raiders. The Raiders scoring first, a 77-yard fumble return by Rod Martin, and a 7-0 lead for the Raiders there. Tampa Bay and San Francisco. San Francisco with their 10-1 record. They are leading Tampa Bay 7-3. That is a second quarter score. The New York Jets and Houston. Houston with a record of just 1-10, and the Jets have taken the lead in that one on Marion Barber, a 12-yard run, and Pat Leahy, a couple of field goals. Houston has added a touchdown. So that is a look at what's going on today in the National Football League. There's also some college basketball to tell you about. The Tip-Off Classic, the annual event in Springfield. This year's teams, Illinois and Oklahoma. And they played a pretty good game, at least in the first half of the game. Ray Meyer was on hand in Springfield for the season opener, recently retired. Illinois, though, showed why they're near the top of most polls. Doug Altenberger on the fast break drives and hits, 14 points for him. Bruce Douglas runs the Illinois offense. He throws the alley-oop to Ephraim Winters, who gets the bucket. Illinois leads by 6. Oklahoma tried a full-court press, but eventually that backfired. Douglas passes ahead to George Murphy, who drives and scores. 3-point play. Illinois led by as many as 13 in the first half. It took a while for Wayman Tisdale to get going. The alley-oop goes to Tisdale for the jam here. He was held to 8 points in the first half as Illinois led by 11 at intermission. In the second half, Oklahoma made it close. Linwood Davis goes coast to coast, hits the driving layup. Sooners got as close as 4 points in that second half, but Illinois eventually closed the door. The rebound to Montgomery, he sends it to Douglas, to Anthony Welch, who goes in for the jam. 12 points for Welch. And a good performance all in all for Illinois. George Montgomery adding the finishing touch, rebounds, throws it in an off-balance shot, also gets fouled. He led Illinois with 17 points. And Illinois ranked number 2 in the preseason poll, beating Oklahoma ranked number 6, 81-64 in the annual Hall of Fame Tip-Off Classic. And a reminder for you, our preview of the 1984-85 college basketball season, that is coming your way tomorrow. That is Monday, November 19th. That's 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Time. Take a look at what we should be expecting to see in college basketball 84-85. Speaking of professional basketball, the Boston Celtics, of course, the defending champions, hoping to be that rare team that can defend the title in the NBA. Celtics went into the season with a little bit of confusion in their backcourt. Here's Tom Mees with a report.
The Boston Celtics knew they had an overcrowding problem in the backcourt even before the season began. No less than 6 veterans and a rookie. They solved that problem in part by trading the popular Gerald Henderson to Seattle 3 days after he had signed a new contract. That still left 6 guards and one big question. Celtic coach Casey Jones had tabbed Danny Ainge to hook up with veteran Dennis Johnson in the backcourt to start the season for the Boston Celtics. That left only one question unanswered. Could Ainge hook up with Dennis Johnson to form a top-flight NBA backcourt? So far this season, the answer has been yes.
Well, everything's worked out well. I've had my frustrating times, throughout my career, but, and sometimes it's very tough to be patient. But I've had to be patient. I've had to pay my dues, so to speak, in this league. And now I got my chance, and so it's up to me to continue for them to have the kind of confidence in me they have now.
Ainge's backcourt mate, Dennis Johnson, who has had to adjust to several backcourt partners the past few years, says that Ainge has presented no problem whatsoever.
For a player really truly to be effective, you have to get the number of minutes to, I guess, help him out. And Danny's, I think, really just not getting started.
He's done very well, hasn't he?
No question about that. He's playing excellent.
Not only is DJ a great defensive player, but he's a great offensive player as well. And he's a player that he wants the ball in the clutch situations. And DJ's a leader, so he plays every aspect of the game. And besides that, he's a great guy, and I can't think anybody else I'd rather play alongside in the league.
Danny Ainge is in the 3rd full year with the Celtics, but first as a starter in the backcourt. He's logging over 30 minutes a game along with Dennis Johnson.
They're playing large minutes, and they're playing awfully good basketball. Danny, Dennis, Robert, Larry Bird, they're playing awfully good. And even though they're logging a lot of minutes, there are places where I can rest them, practice sessions or during the course of a ball game. So I'm not concerned about the minutes they get, but we have 4 people who are scoring awfully well, Dennis Johnson included, and I like that.
Dennis Johnson and Danny Ainge. Now that you think about it, the combo doesn't sound too bad, and they don't play too badly either. But will Boston fans still miss Gerald Henderson come playoff time? Only time will tell. I'm Tom Mees, ESPN.
In hockey news today, the Montreal Canadiens have traded veteran left winger Steve Shutt to the Los Angeles Kings for future considerations. Shutt had played only 10 games with the team this season. He was one of the stars of that Montreal team that won 4 straight Stanley Cups during the 1970s. Stone White, who finished first in the Remsen Stakes for 2-year-olds yesterday at Aqueduct, has been disqualified to last place, and he won't get his more than $150,000 in first place money because he carried an incorrect weight. This according to a ruling today from the stewards at Aqueduct. The horse did win easily over the favorite Mighty Appealing, and he carried the posted weight, according to the racing secretary's office, of 113 pounds. He was, according to the allowance conditions, supposed to carry 115, and the rules say that the owner is responsible for the horse carrying the correct weight. Well, the owner of the horse says that he will appeal the disqualification from first money, says it wasn't his fault the horse carried the wrong weight. So Mighty Appealing gets the win after all, at least pending the appeal. Hot Debate second, Boltinghome finishing third. In auto racing news, the Western 500, the final event on the NASCAR circuit for 1984, delayed by rain in Riverside, California today. They do hope to get it underway shortly. Terry Labonte got pole position. If he finishes 7th or better, Terry Labonte will be the NASCAR champion. In Australian Grand Prix action today, the winner Roberto Moreno of Brazil, Keke Rosberg of Finland finishing second, Andrea De Cesaris of Italy was third, and Alfredo Costanzo of Australia was fourth in that race. And Tom Watson won the Australian Open today by just one shot. He shot an even par 72 on the final round. That was good enough for the victory in the Australian Open. Remember, halftime score in the Grey Cup, Winnipeg is leading Hamilton 30-17. We will go back to chilly Edmonton for more action in just a couple of minutes, but first, a short time out.
Do you have any Giorgio Brutini in a size 11? Are you kidding? We've got shoes and boots of every kind, in styles and colors that'll blow your mind. Giorgio Brutini. If you're dressing up or if you're dressing down for a day on the run or a night on the town, dressing casual or sporty, looking mellow or bold, every Giorgio design is a sight to behold.
I'll take 2 pair of boots. They'll be great for the fall. And box up the rest because I've taken them all.
Giorgio Brutini, because you can never get too much of a good thing.
Saturday, ESPN makes headlines with an exclusive live Southwest Conference showdown. Reggie Dupart and the SMU Mustangs look to avoid getting cut down by the Arkansas Razorbacks' dangerous defense. It's sure to be a great gridiron battle Saturday on ESPN.
If you're craving college football, watch us Tuesday afternoon when Maryland collides with Clemson. Terrapins and Tigers Tuesday on your Total Sports Network.
Back with you at Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton, Alberta, where the Winnipeg Blue Bombers came alive and took command of that second quarter for a 30-17 halftime lead. Don Chevrier and Jack Goda with you at cold Commonwealth Stadium here at Edmonton. You wonder what happens to a team. I know they got some breaks. They forced some turnovers, the Tiger Cats, but day and night, first quarter, second quarter, all Hamilton first, all Winnipeg second. How would you account for that, Jack?
Well, I think once David Shaw made the big intercept, dropping back in the zone, came across, set up the first score from there, and then it just seemed like the superiority of the Winnipeg football team in all phases. And I'm really surprised, like the kicking game and the return game. That was some other things that as a result of that, they just got excellent field position. And Clemens, the bright guy that he is, just adjusted to the defense that was shown out there, and just moved the team up and down the field at will.
Hamilton had a couple of 14-point leads, but they had that before in the regular season and got chased out of the field. Winnipeg came back and scored 48 points on them in one game, but at halftime here, the stats indicate that Winnipeg did regain the edge offensively with 162 yards in that offense by halftime, but it was all Hamilton, of course, in the first quarter. I think Tommy Clements, obviously, favoring his ribs, didn't get a full week of workouts, came in here late, might have been a little conservative and cautious, but when he got rolling, as Huffnagel got them started, actually, there was no stopping them. Turnovers, 2 apiece, and of course, they had a lot to do with the scoring plays. Again, first quarter, second quarter, no comparison on the stats.
That thing, I think Hamilton has to come back now and make some adjustments. They have to shut down the inside receivers and the back coming out of the backfield, and maybe say, let's invite Clements to see if he can throw the ball out to those wide receivers. Otherwise, they'll just control the ball on you. That's the kind of a football team that the Bombers are, and they are a heck of a football team, have been all year long, and they've got the emotion going their way, and I would look for those guys to be tough roading the third quarter.
Let's see if Tom Meese of the sidelines is frozen solid. Tom, how you doing?
Well, I'm doing fine. Not bad for a Florida boy north of the border. I tell you, Jack got to hit it right on the head, gentlemen. Field position is the big difference in this ball game. Field position and the fact that the Hamilton Tiger Cats do not have the ability, as does Winnipeg, to control the ball on the ground. They get behind against a good team like Winnipeg, and it's awfully tough when Winnipeg knows that it'll be Dieter Brock throwing the ball on every down. We'll see if Hamilton can come out fired up, get some breaks, and above all, get better field position in the second half. If they don't, the ball game could end rather early for them. Let's go to the other sideline where Winnipeg is a happy team with Bill Stevenson.
Well, Tom, you're right. Winnipeg could blow this club out. But let me tell you, I think the turning point of the game, and something we'll be talking about after the game, is a fellow named David Shaw, the former Hamilton Tiger Cat. He made the interception, and that was when Hamilton was moving and could have moved ahead 23-3. They were leading 17-3 at the time. Shaw's interception was the turning point in the first half of this game. But the other point was this: Winnipeg pride. As they said, we came in here and we thought we looked so bad in the first quarter, we had to do something about it. It's tough when you're a heavily favored team, because when you are, sometimes you tend to just overfavor yourself too. In other words, you don't come out as mentally prepared as you should. Obviously, that's what happened to Winnipeg. But now it's up to Hamilton to see if they can start off strong in the second half, and they're going to have to. Okay, Chevy.
All right, Bill, a good point. And, of course, the fact that last week, finally, Winnipeg did defeat their arch rivals, the British Columbia Lions, something they had not done previously, and there could have been a little mental letdown coming in against a team like Hamilton, which has had trouble even scoring an offensive touchdown, and it might have taken that first quarter for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers to get their bearings and realize they're in a battle. And they won the battle convincingly in the second quarter, no question of that. They rolled up a 30-17 halftime lead. You sure see all kinds of gear here at the Grey Cup, some for warmth and some to attract attention, and a couple of guys who had no shirts on a while ago. They're probably out and back being thawed out by propane heaters by now.
A couple loonies.
Well, it's a good time to be heading south, and of course, a lot of these players will be going back to their homes in the United States. I know that Tom Clement's wife, Kathy, her parents are watching in East Lansing, Michigan today. And this is a story all over the United States as these fine football players, many of them All-Americans, top prospects from colleges, come to play in Canada, and they culminate their season here today. Winnipeg kicks off the second half. Crawford will watch it bounce out of bounds, and they'll ask the Bombers to do it again with a 5-yard penalty.
I know my folks are watching this game in Punta Gorda, from Punta Gorda, Florida, and I know that my dad follows all football, college football, high school football, with my brother down there. I got brothers in California, Minnesota watching the game.
And when the game's over, have a nice little walk on the beach, which nobody is doing here this afternoon. Now, the Tiger Cats had their supporters, and they must have been thrilled with what they saw in the first quarter. But now Dieter Brock has got a job to do as he'll get set to swing the Ticat offense into motion, with Kennard repeating the kickoff from the 40-yard line. Again, it's in Crawford's direction. He's inside the 15. He'll push Crawford. Short side will want a lane. Has got some room. Now they catch him near the 40, but that's decent field position for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Richard Neiman made the tackle there as Crawford brings it back just shy of his own 40-yard line. The veteran Dieter Brock, 11 CFL seasons behind him now, has gone 16 of 24 here this afternoon. Comes in to direct the Ticat offense once again.
It's always interesting to see what the coaches have done at halftime, the adjustments that they have to make. Adjustments defensively for the Bombers and offensively for the Tiger Cats, like right now. You got to get throwing the football, and that's what he's starting off with the first down. He's trying to go deep on the first down.
Up once, goes deep, got him. He's got Jet. No catch, he was out of bounds. And Jet is jumping up and down. He thought he had a foot or two in bounds to the sidelines. Donovan Rose chased him there, but it's no catch.
You only have to have 1 foot in up here, of course, and then on the other thing, if he was forced out of bounds, that's another question.
You be the judge.
Nope.
Neither foot inside.
The officials are doing their job. They've been right on, good position, made the right call.
Jet is brought in. He's out of Hawaii, 26 years of age, played for Steve Stapler, who went down last week in the Eastern Final against Toronto, won 14-13 in overtime by Hamilton. That's what got them here to the Grey Cup. Second down, Brock again, looks the other way, pops up in the air, into the arms of one of the offensive linemen for Hamilton. Ross Francis, the left guard. He, of course, is not eligible as all kinds of flags fly.
What happened on that one, I think they changed the defense up. They went to a 2-deep zone with 6 under. And as a result of that, Brock had a little trouble reading that. He wanted to go inside on a seam route, and that was shut off by the 6 under coverage defense.
There's Aaron Brown, a key man on that play defensively, batting the ball up in the air. Ross Perrier is the referee. Here's what he'll tell us.
Ineligible receiver, Hamilton, number 54. Declined, 3rd down.
Yes, the left guard is not an eligible receiver. Ross Francis.
They got 6 of them, but he's not one, right?
He doesn't count. So it's punting time again for Bernie Ruan. Average substandard for him on this very cold day. No real charge. Gets one of his better efforts off inside the 30 for Kevin Nels. Flag is thrown. Perhaps did not give him the 5 yards. As the ball is brought back to the 35 by Nels, the officials will medal once again. 43-yard punt, one of Ruoff's better ones. So, young lady looking comfortable despite the cold here as Winnipeg is a 13-point lead early in quarter 3 of the Grey Cup game.
Full block, Winnipeg, number 24.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Connors, and I'm going to make you a better tennis player. Every month in Tennis Magazine. Tennis, #1 tennis magazine in the world. #1 in keeping you up to date, helping you to enjoy and improve your game with sound and practical instructions from the world's top teachers like Ash, Hopman, Trabert, Vandermeer, Braden, and even me.
With news, insights, and updates on all the top players and on the bright new stars. With Tell It Like It Is articles on tennis equipment, apparel, and vacation ideas. Now you can get tennis at a bargain rate. Call 800-372-3000, toll free, and get 9 issues of Tennis Magazine for only $6, less than half the newsstand price. Call right now and you'll get free the booklet, Jimmy Connors on winning serves and ground strokes. That's 9 issues of tennis, plus the Jimmy Connors booklet for only $6. But you must call now, 800-372-3000.
Don't forget, we've got a date right here every month.
Well, the best way to stay warm on a day like this is doing what these young ladies are doing. Keep moving. Bomber cheerleaders urging Winnipeg on with a 13-point lead here in the 3rd quarter. The Bombers caught for an illegal block on that punt return by Nels. Have it now at the 19-yard line. Play resumes. 1st down, Winnipeg.
I'm interested to see now if there's going to be any different defensive philosophy on the part of the Ticats that shuts down some of that inside throwing lanes that they've had open for them all first half.
Clements goes the other way. Goes back to his right. Got a strike to Murphy. James Murphy across the 35-yard line. His first reception today. The speedster from Utah State. That's by Howard Field, the defensive back.
He was a wide receiver on the right side, came all the way across the field to make the catch. Look at there. Look at him just coming across. Just reading the zone and coming up underneath the deep coverage and makes the big catch and gets them out of a jackpot.
19-yarder. They're out down to the 38. Quick pass again to James Murphy. This time the Ticats have it all figured out. He's tagged for a loss by Mike Walker and Grover Covington.
Here we go. Just a little quick out here, and the ball was actually thrown behind and makes a good catch and just holding possession of the football.
Covington, a veteran from Johnson C. Smith University, has spent 4 years now in the Canadian Football League with Hamilton. 2nd down, about 2. Clements looking more confident as he has since the 2nd quarter. Has got the rush. Doesn't want to run with those ribs. Gets it up near the 1st down marker. Might have enough to get it and grasp of Mike Walker. Of course, no, that's right. The other marker, he's well short. So they'll be punting. But Clements taking a bit of a chance running the way he did, but I guess he had no choice.
He's just trying to change the force, put a little force on the defense, and then he's just ready to go down. He looks
Looks pretty loose now for a guy who's very tight, very cautious starting this game. Bob Cameron is the Bomber punter. Hoisted high. Here's Crawford, 35-yard line. Brings it back 5, 10, 12 yards. Out of bounds at the 47. So again, Hamilton in reasonably good shape to start this series. 36-yard punt that time by Bob Cameron.
Again, I think Dieter is just going to go downfield with the ball a little bit more and get a chance to maybe work on second down, come underneath some of that coverage. He's got to get it down the field and put some pressure on that defense. He's got some receivers that can get open and get deep. Both wide guys I like. Dwayne Jett, he's got some speed and can do it. Ron Johnson has been pretty outstanding this year for the Ticats as a left receiver out there.
Here's Brock. He's got time. He's got a strike to Jett. And he's ridden out of bounds by the Winnipeg Blue Bombers defender number 26, Donovan Rose, along with Aaron Brown, assisting on the play. So Jett coming in as a fill-in this week. Picks up 6 on it. One more look at how he ran that pattern. Turned Rose one way, then the other, and Rose couldn't catch up with him.
Like a good receiver coming back to the football, but he came and he tried to make his release too far back to the quarterback and lost a couple yards.
Now the receiver simply fell down on that play. Ron Johnson. Ball was fairly well thrown, but down he went like a rock. It'll be 3rd down now and 4. David Shaw, the ex-Ticat, covering on that play. So the Bombers going to get the ball back again as the Ticats have not done very much with it with their opportunities early in this 3rd quarter, which is just over 4 minutes old. Ruoff's 7th punt of the afternoon. His longest, his last one, 43. Hoping to tag one here and pin the Bombers deep for their series of play. Not all that deep unless it gets a bounce. Around the 20-yard line. That'll be about it. Just over the 20-yard line, the Blue Bombers will put it in play. They lead by 13. 3rd quarter, Grey Cup Edmonton. We'll be back.
In the high-tech world of car stereo, high technology must go beyond what the eye can see. Kenwood believes in the essentials, in achieving sound perfection, by building car stereo components that produce sound of startling realism and depth. Sound perfection. It doesn't get any closer than this.
NFL highlights make headlines Friday on ESPN. 1969 was Kansas City's season, and it finished with a Super Bowl title. There was a lot to yell about the year before when the Jets went all the way. The two team up for the game's greatest moments Friday on ESPN.
Tomorrow, the New Orleans Saints and the AFC Central's top team share the spotlight in our preview of the NFL's Monday night matchup tomorrow on ESPN.
It's a bowl bonanza on ESPN. 7 bowl games coming up this holiday season, including the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl. But first, California Independence Holiday Bowl. That'll be BYU, likely the nation's #1 team next week. Rose Bowl replay, of course. USC-Ohio State match there. Ending with a Japan Bowl on Saturday, January the 12th at 10 Eastern Time. So, outstanding lineup. Holiday football fair coming your way. Right now, in the 3rd quarter of the Grey Cup game, Winnipeg in the white leads Hamilton 30-17. First down, Bombers. Reeves cracked out for maybe 1 or 2.
I think that's when you're also playing zone coverages. Maybe that Hamilton has to come up, their linebackers and their defensive backs have to come up and bump those runners a little bit. In Canada, you can bump that guy, and it doesn't have to be within the 5-yard restriction like it is in American football. It's one bump before the ball is in the air. Consequently, you can jam those guys off their routes and force them to run in other areas.
2nd down and 9. Reeves has 40 yards. Rushing on the day as Clemens sets the throw. Swings it out to him. Reeves can't find daylight there. He's the defense very well by Hamilton. Taken down by Felix Wright, Leo Ezra, and they'll have to punt. It's going to be 3rd down and about 6 yards to go for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. So Hamilton at least has contained them here, but it's not done much when they've had the ball. Here's Tommy Clemens giving this speedster a chance in open country to move. Ticats reacted very quickly and limited his room. Vince Zambiazzi helping to finish that play off, along with Leo Ezra. Tiny Whitworth College in Ohio. Bob Cameron's the punter.
Zambiazzi from the University of Georgia. Going for the block and just missed.
Good deep kick. 35-yard line. This is Crawford. Crawford cracks it out about 14 yards near the 49-yard line of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. 49-yard punt, Legel on the tackle. There is your score. Winnipeg 30, Hamilton 17. And we have 9 minutes and 10 seconds left here in the third quarter.
I like the kicking game up here. I really do. I mean, you can score on the kicking game. I like to see action on each and every play. There is action on those punting plays. Just some of the really fine athletes in the league are also returning punts.
So you're not a fan of the fair catch?
No way. Or kicking in the end zone and taking out to the 20. That kills me.
Pass is incomplete from Brock for Dwayne Jett. Couldn't get turned around to catch it. Donovan Rose has been on him all day covering from the left corner for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. But you can never underestimate or count a team that Dieter Brock quarterbacks out of a comeback situation here. They're down by 13. You saw how quickly he struck in the first quarter. They're entirely capable of doing it here again in the third. Brock will put it up deep. Crawford can't quite catch up with it at the 20-yard line, and the double coverage down there.
The ball,
Donovan Rose is right there with it.
The ball was really well thrown. He was trying to split the 4D out of the 4 deep zone. He's trying to beat the side and the second man in. And he had to pass. That ball was well thrown. He got to come up and make that big catch there.
Bernie Ruoff, as the Tiger Cats fail to advance the ball again, will attempt his 8th punt of the afternoon. And a couple of them very shaky for him, having to run rugby style out where he had some room after mishandling the ball. Here come the Bombers with heat on him, but he has it away. Legel right on top of him. Ball takes a bounce away from Nels. Finally scooping it up around the 15-yard line, and Bombers will start from near the 25 on this next series of plays with just over 8 minutes left in the third quarter.
Both offenses have been really flat so far. Maybe somebody's going to get something going, but maybe they got too warm in there.
Yeah.
They're having a little trouble adjusting to the climate again.
Well, they have met 8 times over the years. The most recent meeting in 1965. Bit of a wind bowl in Toronto. 6-point victory that day for Hamilton. They have not met until today, 19 years later. Tommy Clements, ex-Notre Dame Heisman Trophy candidate. Swings it out to Reeves, so dangerous in the open field, but he is cut down quickly shy of the 35 by Mark Streeter out of Arizona.
All Clements was doing that time was taking both inside receivers and both wide receivers and just running them off the football and then just dumping the ball off to the back there. And he's got to beat the linebackers, and they're coming up to make the play, but they're a little bit late because he does pick up 8 or 9 yards on that.
He got 9 at 2nd and 1. Here's Tom Meade.
Crawford, Rufus, punt returns looking better in the second half. You guys have to get better field position.
Yeah, I think so. You know, we're finally getting together. I'm getting to trust my feet a little more on the slick surface. So we're just hoping that we can keep catching the ball, get good field position, and get Bernie Ruoff in a field goal position.
All right, thanks a lot. Yeah. Rufus Crawford stating the obvious. They got to get better field position for Ruoff and Dieter Brock. Don?
All right, Tom. Reeves has been shaken up on the play. Now getting to his feet, as you see, the bottom left of your screen, and making his way to the Winnipeg bench. Appears to be all right now. Second down and a yard to go for Winnipeg. Clements, 11 for 19. He, of course, had 2 picked off in the early going that led directly to Hamilton touchdown. Remember, Hamilton twice had 14-point leads. They now trail by 13. Straight ahead, an extra yard between the 2 lines gives you the edge, and Clements takes advantage of it for the first down. Zambiazzi contained him there at the 30-yard line. There's Reeves still in some discomfort at the Bomber bench. 8 straight 100-yard games this year in the CFL. The team who plays here, the Edmonton Eskimos, had him, traded him away to Winnipeg. Almost a gift for a draft choice.
That's right. He and Jeff Boyd went in on the same package deal from Edmonton to Winnipeg.
Clemens swings it out to Kehoe. 40-yard line, and he is cut down in a hurry there. Good contact with the veteran Ben Zambiazzi at 7 years CFL pro for the Georgia Bulldogs.
An All-American down there. Just, he's as good a linebacker as you'd want. He can play for anybody, anytime.
But All-Canadian, too, many times. Winner of the Shenley Award. And that'll show you some idea of the talents of Zambiazzi, who is playing with a knee that needs surgery. He's postponed it, and a bad shoulder as well today. That was a 6-yard gain. This is 2nd down and 4 for Tom Clements. Down he goes. Now they let the play continue. They rule he was knocked down. The Bombers going to get a first down out of this.
That was something. Tommy Clements, you got to have high regard for that guy. He made a heck of an athletic move there. He went down. A lot of quarterbacks would have just stayed down and figured, that's it. He got up, stepped up, and made the play. He kept the sticks moving.
Will they get away with it? Let's check on Willard Reeves now with Bill Stevenson.
Willard's problem is that he's bruised the right shoulder, but he badly wants to get back in action, but they're keeping him out at least for this sequence. However, Chevy, I'm sure we'll see him back in the next sequence of plays.
Meantime, Kehoe takes it across midfield, fumbles the football, but it remains in Winnipeg's possession as one of the officials takes a fumble there. Zambiazzi at the heart of that play again, number 31. Doug Mitchell can't get a very good now. We get a better view of him. The CFL commissioner, who has replaced a longtime man on that job, Jake Gador, who's also in attendance here today. Here is Kehoe or Reeves. Doesn't get much of a chance. Fumbling, they rule the ball. He's dead. The Bombers pick it up anyway. The official moves to a spill. Richard Nemeth there coming up with it. Bomber drive continues as Kehoe dives for the first down. First down, Winnipeg, inside the Hamilton 50-yard line. Felix Wright defending for the Tiger Cats.
Again, Clements is moving his club really well. He feels like he finds a little weaknesses here or there. He's not greedy. He's using the clock, and that's the advantages that they have to have. Get good field possession, use the clock, keep the ball away from Tiger Cats and Dieter Brock especially, so they can't come back and score on you. Less than
4.5 minutes to go in quarter 3, and there's your score. Unchanged from the first half. Clements, all kinds of time to throw and go deep. Got him at the 15-yard line.
Poplawski makes a great catch.
Number 71 hauling it in. Joe Poplawski in the grass from Howard Field. The Bombers voice to strike again. 34 yards on the play.
And again, that was a safe pattern. The inside receiver, Poplawski, a guy that's out there not using gloves. He's a native of Edmonton, by the way, playing for the Bombers. He just took a flat route out to the flat and then just took it upfield, and Tommy just looked one way, knowing where Poplawski would be, and then he just threw the ball. That was a beautifully executed play.
Just perfect. From the 14, Winnipeg, first down all over again. Up the middle for about 5 is Willard Reeves. Indeed, as Bill Stevenson indicated, right back in the ball game. Tackled by Ben Zambiazzi. Sore shoulder or no, it is inside the 10-yard line for Reeves on a 5-yard gain. But he's down again.
This has been a great drive on the part of Winnipeg, and a lot of it certainly continued on after Tommy looked like he went down to one knee, got back up and made the completion for a first down.
Reeves with 45 yards on the day and 11 carries, still being attended to by the Bomber training staff. Brought him back a bit too soon with that sore shoulder. He is out of North Arizona State. Still lives in Arizona in the offseason, the 24-year-old. Here's Bill.
Well, Tony Norman, this has been a situation where the Winnipeg Blue Bombers got caught. I think maybe thinking a little overconfident, whether you wanted to or not, and suddenly got rolling.
Well, you know, coming into a game as big as this one is sometimes it's a little bit intimidating because this is my first Grey Cup, and I really never dreamed of getting this far. Getting this far is pretty much the ultimate in anybody's mind, or as far as I'm concerned. But I think we kind of got things together. I knew they were going to come out aggressive, and Coach said all week that we had to play pretty hard and we had to really concentrate. And I'm glad we came out with the score that we got right now.
Tony, thank you. You may be going in again.
How you doing, Mom? In Atlanta, Georgia. Hey, I'll be home soon. Bye.
Clemens! Oh,
right
boy, it was
on
right
the
there
button.
in the end zone.
He hit him right on the button. He couldn't have been more accurately thrown, that football.
Ooh,
and
almost
Boyd
six right there.
Streeter was on the coverage, and he got beat to the inside.
Mark Streeter covering Jeff Boyd. One more look. goodness. Error to the shortstop. Third down. Kenner now will attempt the field goal, which he has, and that will widen the Winnipeg Blue Bomber lead to 33-17. Over the game, Hamilton Tiger Cats, as the Bombers take command here in the third quarter.
When we close this box, we've made our best. So when you open this box, you enjoy the best. Hot, fresh pizza delivered to you in 30 minutes or less. Because
Extra, extra. Ford outsells everybody in the Northwest. It's official. Ford outsells the domestics. Ford really outsells the imports. And here's why. Ford introduces the new Ranger STX. Special paint, power steering and brakes, sport bucket seats, AM/FM stereo, V6 and 5-speed, all standard. Plus, there's the Ranger S priced at a super low $59.93. Right now, your Northwest Ford dealer has headline-making deals on new Ranger pickups. Go in today and see why your Northwest Ford dealer is #1.
Well, a lot of crazy fans here this afternoon watching Winnipeg roll up a 33-17 lead over the Hamilton Tiger Cats. 2:42 to go in the third quarter. Let's go to Bill Stevenson now on the kickoff.
It looks like Willard Reeves is out of the ball game. He's injured that shoulder again, as you said, and he has now gone to the dressing room with the doctor for a further check.
With this lead, offensively, the Bombers might not need him. We have a late hit indeed at the 40-yard line on that return. Mike McIntyre was the player bringing the ball back. I don't know. I think, are they really blue or is that paint? It's cold enough to be caused naturally. Ball is going to come out to midfield, which in Canada is the 55-yard line on this 110-yard
Major
long field.
Winnipeg, number 52, piling on. First down.
Major penalty to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Piling on.
Tiger Cats got to get something going here. I would think that Brock's going to go get the ball, throw the ball downfield, come back and try to hit another hooking pattern. There it is, something out the flat.
Well, led him a little bit too far. Rufus Cropper to the 45-yard line through his hands. It'll be second down and 10. The Tiger Cats really have not been all that impressive. They have, you might say, held their own early in this third quarter. They were blown almost out of this Commonwealth Stadium in the second after they utilized breaks to their advantage for a quick lead in the first. The wind may be picking up a little more, which won't add to the warmth of the playing conditions here this afternoon. Brock 17 of 31 now for 151 yards passing. Will gun this on second down. Can't get it away. Got thrown off balance. Pass out to Shepard. Bounced in front of him.
Just had no time to kin. Tyrone Jones, number 35, from a blitzing from the wide side of the field, just came in there and he just pulled him up short, and there's not much that Brock could do. He had somebody right in his face. I
like that Tyrone Jones, Southern University. He's a good one. He's always around the action, just 22 years of age. Here he comes, 35, forcing it. Brock off balance, throws it short. Hunting time for one of the busier Tiger Cats, Bernie Ruan. Bombers hang back, play the return. Coming down to Kevin Niles, and he does not reach the 25-yard line. Bombers start from around the 23, a minute 47 remaining, and this is the third quarter of the Grey Cup game. Brady at the tackle for the Hamilton Tiger Cats downfield. 36-yard punt.
I haven't seen a time of possession so far in this quarter, but it has to be just really dominated by the Bombers, which is a great factor in their favor because of the fact that they had such a lead coming into this quarter. And if they go into that fourth quarter, presently with the 16-point lead, it's going to be really tough for the Ticats to get two majors and come back with a field goal on top of that. I find that difficult.
33-17, the Bombers lead right now. Clements up for a couple of plays, has gone all the way, fires it out to Jeff Boyd. Cal State followed it. They have not really gone to him a great deal today, and one slipped through his hands in the end zone. Jack said earlier, many of the backs swinging out of the backfield have been the recipients of passes as opposed to the two wide receivers. Rocky DiPietro put on a one-man show for Hamilton in the first quarter. They have defensed him very well and shut him down ever since. Cal Murphy on his way to what he hopes will be a Blue Bomber Grey Cup victory here this afternoon, leading by 16. Second down, a yard to go, straight ahead. 35-yard line should do it for Tom Clements and the Blue Bombers. Much like he did reach the 35. That's there by Mitchell Price, the right defensive end.
And if that was the case, that they get the Grey Cup back to Winnipeg from those great Bud Grant teams of decades ago.
Yeah, Bud Grant coached successfully in Canada with this Winnipeg team before going to the Minnesota Vikings and having his great reign there as the Vikings head coach. First down play. Clemens 15 for 24 passing. Kehoe across the 40-yard line. Met by Zambiazzi, getting in more and more plays from his Hamilton middle linebacking spot out of the Georgia University Bulldogs. Here he is, the ISO on a fine middle linebacker, Zambiazzi.
And the running back is a local boy that's playing for the University of Alberta here. Got traded, and he's playing for the Bombers now, and he might win the big one right in front of the old hometown fans. He's had a heck of a day. Sean Kehoe, I'm talking about.
Kehoe, 3 carries, 20 yards today, filling in for Reeves. No luck this time. As they have them all wrapped up, they will miss the first down. In fact, lose a couple on the play, which is the final play of the third quarter of the 84 Grey Cup game. Commonwealth Stadium, Edmonton, Alberta. Al Bruno knows his Cats are in a deep hole with 15 minutes to play. We'll be back for the fourth and final quarter, but first, let's pause just a moment.
This Bud's for everyone who's got what it takes to make his own breaks.
Are we on? This is Paul Martinez reporting to you from the International Airport.
Yeah, just for you. That distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
From the International Airport, this is Paul Martinez reporting.
Thank you, Paul, and welcome to the news team.
To Paul Martinez, my son.
Remember those nice, quiet, lovable hush puppies? Well, now hush puppies are making some noise.
Style, lots of style. Style for the man on the go. Styles for today, styles for work and for play. Comfort and style is coming your way. So put yourself in our shoes and find out what all the noise is about.
Available at Hush Puppies, shoe stores, and other fine retailers.
Monday night on ESPN, the Steelers and the Saints match up man-to-man in a preview of the game in New Orleans. The outcome is up in the air. When Danny Abramovich played the game, the Saints were just getting off the ground. He was too small and too slow, but he became an NFL superstar. Then the seasons change with a special college basketball preview. We'll cover all the big men on campus from preseason practice to playoffs. It's all here Monday on ESPN.
Chevrier, Jack Goda, Tom Mees, and Bill Stevenson back with you as the punt is down to Rufus Crawford, or Paul Bennett it is, 35-yard line. As Hamilton, again, will try to mount an offense to get back into this Grey Cup game. Trevor Kennert's field goal, the only scoring of the third quarter as the Blue Bombers have increased their lead to 33-17. Canada's external affairs minister, you saw there, a former Prime Minister, Joe Clark. Aspirin, well, indeed, the Ticats have been getting a headache that has intensified since the first quarter when they surprised the Bombers with a couple of 14-point leads.
Vernon Paul, a backup linebacker, put a hit on that punt return. He gave somebody a headache that time.
That'll do it. Brock. Shepard tried to one-hand the ball, couldn't bring it down.
You saw Aaron Brown going over there and make a play, and he just really put a shot on him, too. Winnipeg just in complete control of the ball game. Something has to happen bigger for the Ticats.
Al Bruno, dark outfit of the bench. He's a little unusual in his playing career. He played under Bear Bryant and Adolph Rupp in Kentucky. You talk about having a couple of great coaches in your background. Al Bruno did.
Al was a heck of an athlete. He's been 11 years as an assistant coach with Joe Rustick at Harvard University before coming back to Canada.
Jet at the sideline, ducks out of bounds in possession of a Hamilton Tiger Cat first down. Delbert Fowler was supplying the coverage on him, number 72. One more look at it here. Wide open. And steps out of bounds for the first down. I want to thank Bob Moore and John Spaulding, who produced this game for CBC, Oliver Babrat and Dave Waite of CTV, of course. It is the pictures from these two networks in Canada. CBC, the main producer, we are showing you this afternoon, augmented by our own lookout, Brock, all wrapped up.
You got it again,
Dan
number 35.
Is in there, and Tyrone Jones, number 35, made the hit. He is everywhere. This youngster from Southern U.
But nobody touched him. That's almost criminal, you know. I'd like to see somebody else go back in the quarterback position, take that shot.
So you want to be a quarterback, huh?
The back just missed the blitz pick up there, boy. He just invited him to the inside.
Nobody touched him. I mean, he just waltzed in on the quarterback. Third sack by the Blue Bombers today makes it second down and 18 from the 41 of Hamilton. False movement by the Blue Bombers, early movement. Could be a free one here. It's accepted by Ron Johnson. His first catch today. He's from Long Beach State. And he should have a Hamilton first down. If I read the line play correctly, offside Winnipeg it is. Dave Shaw finally with the tackle.
Again, it's an interesting thing, you know, with the width of a field, 65 yards wide up here.
Winnipeg, number 55, declined first down.
When you throw from one hash mark to the other, in other words, that's like 45 yards just to the sidelines, let alone getting to 20 yards downfield. And you can see with a short drop, the kind of a gun that Brock got.
Yeah, this wide field dictates a strong-arm quarterback, and one who could be mobile as well. Here's Brock, or the star of the first quarter, Rocky DiPietro, couldn't get it to it. Second down, 10, from the Winnipeg Blue Bomber 47-yard line. Brock has gone 19 for 36, approaching 200 yards today. One picked off.
Here's a little game that they've been working on with some success, but this time Hamilton picks up the blitz and Brock tips it off.
12 and a half minutes to go in the Grey Cup game. Brock winds it up. Oh, just through the hands of Cropper down there inside the 15-yard line. Ken Haley, good coverage on him. Overthrew his man by a couple of yards.
Ken Haley, San Francisco State, had been in the Raiders, LA Raiders camp before he came up here.
Well, Bruno knows they need a big play like that to get the Tiger Cats rolling. Trailing 33-17, 12:20 left now in the ball game. Bernie Ruoff, the 10th time today, called upon to punt for Hamilton. Ruoff getting it down to Kevin Nels, and one back for him up near the 15-yard line. The Bombers will start from the 14. 12:02 left in the Grey Cup game of '84 from Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton.
It's the only body you'll ever have. Make the most of it. And if you're serious about exercise, and you should be, why not the best? Nautilus for the home. For full information about the new and revolutionary Nautilus for the home, call toll-free 1-800-445-9000. That's 1-800-445-9000.
Some people would rather put up with dandruff than use a dandruff shampoo. I guess they think they're too harsh. A shampoo should care for hair. Mine does. Its special self-balancing formula sends dandruff protection only where I need it. On my scalp, not on my hair. And it gently conditions where it's needed. Leaves my hair soft, healthy looking. My shampoo? Yeah, it's a dandruff shampoo. But it's today's Head and Shoulders, and it cares for my hair.
Southern University's Ty Jones has been one of the great ones up here for this season, most certainly, maybe the best, some people think. Ty, you're known as a designated sack man, but in that linebacking core, everybody can go, can't they?
Yeah, you're right. Anybody can go. It doesn't matter who's on the strong side or who's on the weak side. It could be inside linebacker, it could be outside, it could be all, well, it could be 3 linebackers at one time. It might be even all 4 at one time, so it doesn't matter who goes.
Well, now, it looks to me like you're really pepped up for this game.
Oh, yeah, definitely. This is a big game, you know, and we've been trying to get this Grey Cup in Winnipeg for the last 19 years, and I want to get it for the people of Winnipeg.
Thank you, Ty. Ty Jones.
Boy, he's a good one, isn't he?
Is he ever?
At the 19-yard line, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers have the ball and the lead at 33-17. Next Saturday, a reminder again, Arkansas, SMU, college football, a good one. On ESPN, 7:30 Eastern Time from Texas Stadium with Jim Simpson and Paul McGuire. Tommy Clements keeps it on the ground. First play.
They just ran a little misdirection play that time, and it got stuck. So it's 2nd and 9. Ticats have to come up with another big defensive football play, turn that ball over. There's 11 and a half minutes, which is a lot of times. They do a lot of damage. They're down 16. You got the 2-point convert. They could get 2 major scores and 2 two-pointers.
And of course, you can score single points in the CFL and all manner of scoring.
All aces, deuces, and trades.
Everything's wild. Especially some of the fans here. Tom Clements, ranging far to his left, finds the receiver, Jeff Boyd. It was out of bounds in what should be first down range over the 30-yard line. Felix Wright was covering him. Premier of Manitoba, Howard Piley, enjoying what he is seeing this afternoon. Why not? His province as the city of Winnipeg for its capital. About 1,000 miles east of here.
16 yards on the first down here. Watch Boyd just really runs the defense off, comes back to the football, and it was a well thrown when Clements had to roll to his left for the wide side.
First down on the 30. For the better part of the first down, about 9 yards. Felix Wright finally shut it down. As Willard Reeves refuses to leave this ball game. Taken out twice, the shoulder problem. He's hanging in there. Number 38, the outstanding player in the country, 8 yards. Less than 11 minutes to go now in the 4th quarter. Well, everybody's not excited, but of course she is wearing a Hamilton hat.
I just hope somebody should shake her and see if she's all right.
Now you worry about people freezing to death out here.
I was going to say, wow, when you start getting sleepy in this kind of weather, it's kind of crazy.
Now they're waiting for one big play to bring these Tiger Cats alive. And right now the ball is Winnipeg's. Felix Wright, who's been a good one. Key interception first quarter, 4 last weekend to defeat the Toronto Argonauts. Receiving assistance as he leaves the field. Well, as you know, back in your single days, Jack, some dates work out better than others.
You got that. I like that. That's good. Well, I'll tell you right now that the Ticats have to come up and turn that ball over because they're just using up the clock and using the speed.
Second down and a couple from the 39-yard line. Boy, you sure see some get-ups here, don't you? Reeves has the first down and inside. Gets it out near the 45-yard line. Mike McIntyre, the safety, had to contain him. As the smiles are lingering on the faces of the Winnipeg cheerleaders. This young lady must be backing Hamilton. Of course, these people in these great outfits have been wearing them since probably late last night. A lot of this crowd didn't get to bed, judging by the sounds outside of my hotel room in the wee small hours. Reeves with almost 60 yards on the day. Clements sets the throw. A strike inside the 30-yard line, and he finds James Murphy wide open. In fact, Murphy from Utah State had to wait for the ball, and Gerald Best pinned it down.
James Murphy runs that post pattern as well as anybody. He caught 12 touchdown passes in the regular season this year. He caught 8 of them on that post pattern. 36 yards he picked up on that, and he got him an excellent field position. They're already in for maybe a game-clinching three. They don't have to do anything crazy. Just use the football wisely and use the clock.
Clocked out of 9 minutes of playing time available for a Hamilton comeback, which does not seem likely. Tom Clemens, 4 ribs and all, gaining confidence he goes. Fires a strike to Poplawski at the 10-yard line. It's first down all over again.
Poplawski makes another great catch. I'll tell you what, you can see why he's been one of the premier receivers in this league for a half dozen years. Picked up 19 yards. Excellent field position. First down's on the 10-yard line.
Watch him extend himself right here. Great catch.
I like that he has no gloves on either, and he's made great catches in-house.
Of course, he comes from up here.
Yeah.
He's used to it. If you ever do get used to it.
He's another Edmontonian.
Clemens outside the 10, shopping for a receiver. Unloads it back to the ball at the 5-yard line. It's Rick House. And the Bombers get close again. Here's Tom Meades and a few of his friends at Edmonton.
Don Chevrier, obviously these people are quite happy you're Blonner fans, aren't you?
No, all the way, we're for it.
Was there ever any doubt in your mind who would win?
No.
No doubt about it. Astros number 1. Winnipeg's on the
my
way.
mind. You're from Ontario. You're rooting for Winnipeg.
Nova Scotia.
Don Chevrier, obviously a very happy group of Winnipeg Blue Bomber fans. They're celebrating already.
A slow start, but they are ready for the party that is bound to follow here this afternoon. Second down from the 3. They can get a first down without scoring a touchdown, but Reeves will have to worry about that. 6 points, Blue Bombers. They increase their lead to what may be an insurmountable margin now. Midway in the final quarter.
They just can't generate the offense that cope the last 7 or 8 minutes here. Not against the way the Bombers are all cranked up since really early in the second quarter. They have dominated this game totally.
Reeves gamely hanging in to score that insurance Winnipeg touchdown. Coming back from a sore shoulder that he injured in the third quarter on more than one occasion. And there is the Grey Cup. This is what it is all about, making its way down the track here to the place of presentation. Here is the point after from Trevor Kennard. And the Winnipeg Blue Bombers increase their lead to 40-17 over the Hamilton Tiger Cats. It's getting late now, halfway through the final quarter of the Grey Cup game of '84.
Watch your mail for this envelope from Transamerica Financial Services. If you qualify, you could receive $15,000, $25,000, even $75,000. Plus, as a special introduction to Transamerica Financial Services, we may be able to arrange a $2,500 loan by return mail. Watch your mail for this envelope from Transamerica Financial Services. Transamerica, the power of the pyramid, is working for you.
In 1982, Toyota of Yakima had America's #1 import trucks. In 1983, the trucks were improved, and then more improvements in '84. By '85, the Toyota truck was better looking, more comfortable, more practical, and more powerful. But the best improvement is something that didn't change at all. The sticker price. It's exactly the same as it was way back in 1982. And right now, you can get into some for as little as only $100 per month at Toyota of Yakima.
What will you do with all the money you save?
With Tom Mees, Bill Stevenson, Jack Goda, this is Don Chevrier. The fourth quarter halfway through here at Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton. A Western City with a Western team in the lead over the Eastern champion Hamilton Tiger Cats 40-17.
Looks like the Grey Cup is coming back to the West. Toronto had it. Now it looks like it's going to be firmly in the hands of the Blue Bombers from Winnipeg.
Johnny Shepard gets it across the 30-yard line to about the 33 for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Yes, last year, the Toronto Argonauts won it by a single point in Vancouver under the dome at BC Place, and then got beaten by a single point in their bid to repeat as Grey Cup champions coming out of the East last week.
You know, now looking over that great group of games coming up, bowl games ESPN has covered, is there any way you can use your influence on to get me to cover any one of those games?
Hey, I'll go
California, with you. Hawaii, Japan.
I'm not fussy. I'll go with you anywhere.
There's Ty Jones again.
In the grasp of Jones is Dieter Brock. Happy Winnipeg team, Bill.
Willard Reeves is the most outstanding football player in Canada, winner of the Shanley Award, which was named this week. First question, Willard, why are you still playing when that shoulder's hurting you so much?
Well, I got 6 months to heal. Like this is, you know, Grey Cup, you know, you hardly ever get there. But, you know, I just got 6 months healed, so I'm just going to go ahead and play.
Willard, the fans throughout the United States may not know this, but every time you scored a touchdown throughout the year, you took a ball and you gave it to the disabled people in the stands. You're doing it in this Grey Cup. You've given them 2 balls.
That's right. I've given away 2 balls. That's made 20 on the year. I want to go for 21 now. So, you know, it's just something I want to do, you know.
What started that? How did you get the idea?
Well, last year started. I always want to do something for the handicap, and this is, I got a chance to do it this year. Okay? Take care, guys. All right.
Willard Reeves, the most outstanding football player in Canada, and you can see why. Jeff?
I sure can. You can also see the Hamilton Tiger Cats running out of gas and time. Here in this 4th quarter, 6.5 minutes left. They'll send their punter, Bernie Ruoff, to work once again.
You know, Willard Reeves has spent his off-season back at school in northern Arizona, Flagstaff, Arizona, as a policeman in the off-season.
Fine young man.
Be careful, criminals in that area.
Yeah, look out, Willard's coming home.
He'd bend you in half.
All right, ball goes back to the Bombers near midfield. 6 minutes and 14 seconds to go, and a long way to travel for Hamilton.
Do you have any Giorgio Brutini in a size 11?
Are you kidding? We've got shoes and boots of every kind, in styles and colors that'll blow your mind.
Giorgio Brutini.
If you're dressing up or if you're dressing down, for a day on the run or a night on the town, dressing casual or sporty, looking mellow or bold, every Giorgio design is a sight to behold.
I'll take 2 pair of boots. They'll be great for the fall. And box up the rest because I've taken them all.
Giorgio Brutini, because you can never get too much of a good thing.
Wednesday on ESPN, follow football's legends of the fall when they give us the game's greatest moments. It's a half hour of historic highlights. Next, full contact karate kicks up a storm with the World Welterweight Championship. Alvin Crowder meets Ricky Haynes in his fight to keep the crown. Then, an undefeated season is just one reason Miami ranks high among the best ever teams. Be here when we follow the fortunes of football's finest. Our Wednesday's a winner on ESPN.
Winnipeg leading at 40-17. The favorites coming through after the 1st quarter to take charge of this Grey Cup game. And their cheerleaders are happy, and many in this crowd of over 60,000 are still here, surprisingly, hanging in right to the end of an obvious Winnipeg victory.
They're hardy people up here, aren't they? And I'll tell you what, walking the streets and meeting so many of the people, especially those off the prairie, those farmers, they give you a handshake, boy, and they leave you with you wondering if you got all your fingers left. They're tough guys.
Hardy people out here in Canada's West. Here's Kehoe bouncing off one tackle, then finding some running room inside the 30-yard line.
He's had an outstanding day today. Catching the ball coming out of the backfield, running the football, working on his specialty teams. Outstanding. Sean Kehoe.
Howard Fields finally caught up with him. He's had a good day.
Look at there. Nice hole in there. And he makes a good move right here. Just turned off the block, and then he just comes upfield here. Shifts the ball. I like that. Gets the stiff arm out there. Looks like a quality back, which he is.
Averaging 8 a carry and 6 this afternoon. Near the 33-yard line. Here is the pitch to Kehoe again. Picks up an extra 3. As he advances the ball inside the 25-yard line. Rod Skillman, defensive tackle with the stop. Cal Murphy, the man in the middle with a headset, knows that his Blue Bombers have gotten the job done here this afternoon after a very shaky start.
Cal Murphy,
Hopnagel, I was going to say right there, was the man who really got it going. He spelled off Tommy Clements while Clements caught his breath, got his composure, and that brought on Clements just fine. Here he is at work now. Pumps it left side. Pat Kampner out of bounds down the sidelines, very deep at the 7-yard line.
Tommy Clements is finding the open man. As you're indicating, after he came back, settled down, got a good read on the defense, he has just really completely annihilated him.
17 on that play, makes it 1st down and goal to go for the 7 of Hamilton.
John Hupnagel's coming in the ball game now, probably stick it in the end zone for him.
Blue Bombers' second best record in the CFL behind the BC Lions certainly deserve to be here, and they're proving it in this second half. Here Here's Keogh again, inside the 5, down to about the 4-yard line. In the 2 previous meetings this year, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers have run 40 points plus up against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And like today, on occasion, the Cats had a 14-point lead. A little deja vu out here in the Grey Cup of '84.
Remember, the first game of the season that these two teams had met, it was 11-11 at halftime. Was a heck of a game. The Bombers came back in the second half and blew them out. And that's what happened this game from the second quarter on.
Second quarter today.
Right.
There's the time remaining.
Touchdown. You got him open.
Wide open in the end zone. Yep. 6. Jeff Boyd from Cal State Fullerton makes it a 46-17 game. Wow. And I think that will send the people scurrying for the warmth of their cars here at Commonwealth Stadium, except the most devoted Winnipeg fans who want to stay and savor every moment of it. One more look. He was wide open in the end zone, waving at Tom Clements. Didn't have much of a rush to challenge. Wide open, found him. Bingo, there's 6 to Boyd.
I wanted to mention Cal Murphy as we scanned a number of times. He had been the head coach with the Bombers now just for a couple of years, but before that, for 5 straight years, he had been on those Edmonton Eskimo winning teams, and now he's coming back as the head coach and doing it himself with the great staff that he has.
Kennard converts. A happy Boyd at the sidelines, and the Blue Bombers have a lead of 30 points. 47-17 here, getting late now. 3:50 remaining in this the 4th quarter of Grey Cup '84, the first Grey Cup game ever played in Edmonton. Reminder again of warmer times over the holidays. The California Bowl, Independence Bowl, the Holiday Bowl. That's BYU. They'll be number 1 perhaps next week after their unbeaten streak continued yesterday. Aloha in Hawaii on December the 29th, and the Blue Bonnet, the Rose Bowl, the Japan Bowl. I'm with Jack. We'll go to any one of those at all. Not fussy.
No, we'll just do it for room, board, books, and tuition, right?
Exactly, like the old days. Now the Rose Bowl will have USC and Ohio State. That'll be a delay of that game on January the 4th. USC, though, in the battle for the bragging rights of Los Angeles, got hammered yesterday. Already nailing down the Rose Bowl berth, however. Shepard mishandles the ball. Crawford collects it back on the goal line, and he'll start up now, but doesn't go far. He's stopped at the 15-yard line with 3 minutes and 42 seconds remaining. Let's go to Tom again.
Thank you, Don Chevrier. Happiness on the Winnipeg bench, but Grover Covington not very happy now on the Hamilton bench, as it's obvious that the Winnipeg Blue Bombers have taken this game from you.
No question. Well, first of all, I'd just like to give God all the glory for just let me have this opportunity just to be here.
What was the turning point?
Well, we jumped on them quick, and then they didn't die. So it was that type of game, you know, you can never give up. So they just came out and they was ready, and they've been a hot team all year long. So you just got to give it to them. They came out and they just got us. Out.
I know you tried to put pressure early on Clemens, so it worked for the first quarter, but from there on in, he sort of had his way with you.
Yeah, he's the type of quarterback that if you don't get to, he'll pick you apart. So he had a super game. He was on, and he just hit it.
All right, Grover, congratulations on getting to the Grey Cup. Grover Covington out of Johnson C. Smith University, obviously disappointed, but happy to get this far. Don?
All right, here is the fullback, Draganola, struggling for a first down, and will be close to it. Might have it right there across the 25-yard line for Hamilton. But they still trail by 30 with the clock now inside 3 minutes at 2:51. 4th quarter of Grey Cup '84.
This holiday season, you can give a gift of joy and happiness to some needy child in Washington. And C-First will help. Because every time you make a transaction on your C-First cash machine, C-First will make a donation to the Toys for Tots. So no matter what you use the cash machine for, keep pushing those buttons. Because every time you do, you're giving Toys for Tots a push.
Hi, I'm Jerry Pruitt, owner of AAB Hair Company in Tannery. Myself and our family of professionals are giving every hair and nail client a gift certificate worth $10 off our already low tanning package. So come on in and make your hair and nails beautiful and receive your tanning certificate today. Call AAB Hair Company in Tannery, a family hair care center.
Well, those pats on the back will intensify into a jubilant celebration for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and their long, starving fans about to claim a Grey Cup for the first time in 19 long years. Not since 1965 has Winnipeg been the dominant club in Canada's football race. Dieter Brock, perhaps playing his final game in the CFL, comes up short on a little flip to Johnny Shepard. Here's Bill Stevenson.
And Tommy Clements, without question, the star of this piece. Tom, you came in after all week being on the sidelines and people wondering if you're going to play. You must be very proud of your accomplishment.
Well, I'm very happy to be on a team that's won, and we, first quarter, things didn't look too good for us, and they played very well, but we came back, got some big plays, and our team's just been playing that way the whole year, and it's great to cap it off like this.
Now tell us, how were the ribs during this game? Did they give you trouble?
Well, they're sore. The ribs are all right, but it's all the muscles around the ribs that are sore, and every time I hit the ground, it jarred it, and the ground is pretty much like concrete. Some of those sore right now, but I don't feel it too much.
Tom, you've had a lot of great moments. You had your great days with Notre Dame. How does this game rate?
It ranks right up there because I was fortunate enough to win the Grey Cup in my second year, and it's been a long drought since then. And I think I'll savor this one a little more because it's been so long.
And I understand you're even thinking about going down to Florida to live one day.
Well, I'm going to be down there for the month of December for sure, and then after that, who knows?
After this, why not? Tommy Clements, congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Well, won't Florida look good after an afternoon like this? Here's Ruoff. 2.5 minutes to go. Down to Haley. And Haley takes it back about 7 yards onto the Bombers' 42-yard line. Wayne Lee made the stop there.
2 minutes is going to seem like a long, long time, but Hamilton is just...
Well, the time won't seem that long for Hamilton or for Winnipeg, but it sure will for the Tiger Cats.
That's what I'm saying. They just want it over and get out of here.
Pitch out to Keogh. Again, very impressive. Hitting very hard in there. Good second and third effort. Gets to the better part of 10. Might have a first down on that carry. Safety McIntyre had to finally contain him. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left now.
Fans, some of them are starting to leave now. Finally, I mean, they hung in there. Still more than half of them are still here.
Doesn't mean much to old guys like you and me, but some of the younger players in this Winnipeg team, they'd be like 3 years old, many of them, the last time Winnipeg won a Grey Cup 19 years ago. Temperatures dropping here in the late afternoon of an Alberta winter day. Kehoe again, slashing up the middle. 50-yard line has picked up about 6 yards on that carry with 1:56 remaining now. I want to thank Doug Stone for supplying our stats this afternoon. Our spotters, John Hess, Dale Sivko, doing a good job here among this crowd of 60,000 at Commonwealth Stadium. Next year's Grey Cup will go to Montreal. Then the year after, back indoors to the warm confines of the Dome in Vancouver. Outstanding defensive player of the game, no argument. Tyrone Jones, Southern University, a deserving winner. Tommy Clements, the outstanding player. The job he did coming in with not just bad ribs, but a bruised lung coming out of that game last week in Vancouver.
Oh, yeah. This is interesting here. They just want to keep the clock going and just wear it down and get out of here. It's a chance. Look at Kehoe with the quickness he's showing now.
Yeah, he's having fun out there. Doesn't want it to end with 1:33 left, getting almost every call. Paul Bennett, a much-traveled CFL player, with the stop on him. So college football and a lot of good college football coming up on ESPN. Don't forget the college basketball season on ESPN, starting very shortly as well later on this month. Well, the year-round sports parade continues, and of course, has today included the Grey Cup game from Edmonton, Alberta. The Grey Cup has become a tradition on ESPN the past few years as well. And it has been Winnipeg's day with a 47-17 lead. Keogh, a 1 bench right now as John Hufnagel, who's come in to relieve. Tommy Clements giving him a well-deserved break. Keeps handing the ball to him.
Like Tyrone Jones and Tommy Clements, they win new automobiles. Their team will get a big ring, and they'll pick up about $15,000 as a champion. So it's been a good afternoon in spite of the cold. A lot of people like to have that kind of an afternoon, I'll guarantee you.
That's right. Look about in any weather for that chance. Daigle's pitch out. Nets another 3 or 4 as they get down near the 30-yard line. Clock running down to 1 minute and 5 seconds. Of course, the timeout situation in this game is much different than it is in United States football. The clock operates a little bit differently. And this one taking its time and winding down.
A lot of things can happen in the last couple of minutes in our game up here.
$11,000 goes to each member of the winning team, $6,000 to the loser here this afternoon. Hufnagel to Pat Kantner getting a chance to shine now, and shine he does. Oh, ball comes loose. Picked up by the Hamilton Ticats' Gerald Bess. Give Hamilton one more kick in the cap here with 39 seconds left. So we hope that many vacationing or now permanent resident Canadians in the United States have enjoyed the show this afternoon. Especially if they are from Western Canada, they have doubly enjoyed it. And Harold Ballard, the owner of both the Hamilton Tiger Cats and Toronto Maple Leafs, missing a second bid for a Grey Cup, will have to go back and worry about his hockey team the rest of this winter, while the people of Winnipeg celebrate their victory today.
Well, all the people who left in the stadium I know are Winnipeg fans. They're just going to wait here and hoop and holler from now until morning.
Johnny Shepard gathering in that pass from Dieter Brock out near the 20-yard line with 33 seconds remaining on the clock as the Grey Cup will soon be officially in the possession of the members of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. A day like this, you might put your hands on the cup and never get them off. Temperatures dropping down in the teens Fahrenheit now. It has not reached the expected high forecast by the optimistic local weatherman here in Edmonton this afternoon. 19 seconds remaining now. So another Grey Cup has come and almost gone. For the 72nd time in Canada, Al Murphy is going to claim his at number 72 as the head coach of the Bombers.
He's a tremendous human being. I'm just glad to see a guy like that. He had suffered through a heart attack a few years ago when he was an assistant coach at them. He came back from that. He loves football, and he gave a great contribution to the game.
Clock is down to 1 second, no time on the board, and it's time for these two teams to go indoors and get warm, and for one, led by that man, Cal Murphy, to celebrate their first Grey Cup championship in 19 years. The Blue Bombers win Grey Cup number 72 here on a cold afternoon in convincing fashion over the Hamilton Tiger Cats, pulling away in the second quarter and never looking back. We'll be back with more from Commonwealth Stadium in just a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, a message of economic importance. We Americans have always known that every year prices go up. But now someone's changed all that. Your Toyota of Yakima dealer takes justifiable pride in announcing that the sticker price of 10 brand new 85 Toyota trucks and vans will remain the same or lower than they were last year. And you can now get into some of them for as little as $100 a month. What to buy at Toyota of Yakima.
What will you do with all the money you save?
Watch. She's going to give us nothing but trouble.
Rainier Bank has a personal style of doing business.
Trouble.
Hi, Tom. Hello, George. You here to talk about that loan for the new baler?
Yes, ma'am. The Rainier Personal Banker.
Here comes trouble.
Someone willing to take a personal interest in your business.
Shouldn't be any trouble at all.
One person to make all your banking easier.
See? What'd I tell you?
Goodbye, George.
Come on, George. Let's go.
Watch your mail for this envelope from Transamerica Financial Services. If you qualify, you could receive $15,000, $25,000, even $75,000. Plus, as a special introduction to Transamerica Financial Services, we may be able to arrange a $2,500 loan by return mail. Watch your mail for this envelope from Transamerica Financial Services. Transamerica, the power of the pyramid, is working for you.
Hi, this is Glenn Mitchell for Yakima Dodge, where we sell for less, and we'll prove it.
The proof is in the prices, like this 83 AMC station wagon, 6-cylinder automatic with lots of extras, just $59.95. An 82 Chevy Cavalier station wagon with front-wheel drive and more, just $49.95. Or this 2-ton 83 Pontiac Grand Prix with power windows, air conditioning, and more. You can drive it home today for just $179.38 a month.
Remember, that's Yakima Dodge, where we sell for less.
Long years, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are bringing the Grey Cup back to the capital city of Manitoba, virtually in the center of the continent, center of Canada, Winnipeg, Manitoba. And well, they did give their fans a scare for a while in the first quarter, Jack, but as so often happens, class will tell.
But I thought maybe you brought some good luck from your old stomping grounds back there in eastern Canada, you know, the Toronto area, but they just couldn't do it. After that second quarter, it was just a complete blowout, and I thought that Winnipeg, just one of the better football teams that we've had up here in a long time. Good balance of the top.
So the goalposts come down to reappear for the 85 season. 84 Grey Cup game has been brought to you by today's Head & Shoulders. Its self-balancing formula helps control dandruff while it cares for your hair. So on behalf of Tom Mees and Phil Stevenson working on those cold sidelines, my partner Jack Goda, former CFL Grey Cup coach, this is Don Chevrier for the entire crew saying so long from Edmonton, Alberta.
When American business hits the road, American business stops at Hilton, America's business address.
SportsCenter Plus is brought to you by Ever-Ready rechargeable batteries, rechargeable up to 1,000 times.
You must admit on this of all days that there are a few turkeys among us, and as Gary Miller takes a